been falling for 30 minutes.
If you actually think that I was just the right gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, gay guy, nigga, gay guy, gay guy. And you check your
I'm a kid in the backseat. You know just how we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's the world's focused warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy, aligned with the like-minded, Tony Tone Deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. And we are rocking. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 Pacific, which means it is the Monday Night War retrospective. We're talking about the greatest time to be a wrestling fan. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this week. Some big things happening. 2 different pay-per-views. The Great American Bash 1996 and King of the Ring 96. 2 very significant pay-per-views in the history of the Monday Night War. So, yeah, I can't wait to talk about the weekly shows. I can't wait to talk about the pay-per-views. And we're going to get into all that. But before we do, shout out to the chat. Keely Chow, Superfan Adam Shawhan, Parrot Head. Who else do we have here? I guess I gave myself too much credit. Brutal Morningwood. There's someone who's not already on the panel. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. I can't wait to talk about some wrestling with you guys. Before we get into that, let's introduce the panel. Starting with first, he's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins like he's Demi Lovato. He was born and raised in the USA like Osama bin Laden. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Etep Wokuian from Etep Wokuian's Place to Be Reviews. You're mute. You're on
muted.
Here, I got problems over
it's
here.
It's your first day on the internet.
It's I feel like it. Jesus, I was somewhere outside of 8:09 Eastern on Tony's channel on a Tuesday night when the edibles took over, and then I got a glass of wine, and here I am. It's the Monday Night Wars. I tell you what, I'm pissed. I only got to watch like 1.5 of the shows this week, but man, the nitros were good with Kevin Nash. Oh yeah. No, it was great. I'm glad to be here. This is yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch the pay-per-views. So because I have to watch Great American Bash. That's a big one. And then King. Did they have King of the Ring yet, or is that after the second night of Raw?
After.
I thought it was after it.
Yeah, it's like Great American Bash is the weekend before King of the Ring.
Yeah, I was to say they were off by like 1 week. They weren't running head up against each other. All right.
Yeah.
But
I missed that. Like, you never knew who would get the end pay-per-view, you know. Sometimes WCW would be later in the month, sometimes WWF, but it always felt like the later pay-per-view was the bigger deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for WCW's. I always loved man. Like and this one I remember that because like that was a big argument with my dad because it was Father's Day, and I wanted to watch wrestling. You know, it's like it's bad. I want to watch Great American Bash. Yeah, fun times.
Back in the days when wrestling beat the NFL.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Next up on the panel, one of the brightest minds in the game of wrestling today. And when you can't catch him in the squared circle, you will catch him over on Twitch. Banging that Elden Ring. What's up, brother? It's Angelous Draven.
Hey, not much. Like Etep had said, I had not watched any of the episodes, but the previous week before I watched an extra episode, so I've seen the episode with Nash, and I actually watched Great American Bash, so I will actually be able to talk about some of the stuff I saw.
Fucking A.
So, yeah, which should be a good time, as always.
Dude, I'm looking forward to it. And, it's great to see you this week, man. Thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Next up, this guy has the coolest gaming setup I've ever seen. Like, I was his friend before, but now I'm kind of using him to get to that program. I mean, it's so fucking awesome, man. Mr. Chris Fisk, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going? Just a disclaimer, I do not work for the WWF.
He's released, damn it. Zack Ryder.
Whole roster.
Woo, woo, woo.
No, didn't they like save that for the pay-per-view too, where they had Hall and Nash, and they had to like basically say that in front of with Bischoff because it was like McMahon had that lawsuit going on.
I think so.
You got to ditch that shitty accent there, Hall. What you talking about, Chico?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Are you talking about when McMahon kind of sued WCW to say, hey, this isn't a part of our program? Like,
yeah.
The toothpicks. And, yeah. That was still smart at WCW. Like, if you're going to bring people in, that's the way you do it. And, like, it's almost like a president enforcing a vax mandate on companies. You know, by the time the courts do step in, the damage is done. You know, you've gotten away with it. So
all 8 pages of that adverse reaction.
And hail the lovely Sherry. Great to see you. Darius Munchausen, thank you for being here. 24 Eyes, great to see you. Yeah, it's already cracking. I couldn't be more excited to have you all join us here. So, yeah, what's up, everybody? How was your weekends?
Too short.
Every day's a weekend when you're retired.
Oh.
Every day's a weekend when you're...
That hurt in, like the depths of my soul. That hurt.
I know I want that.
I go into work at that punk ass school just for. I don't even know why I do it anymore. I don't.
Fucking kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say
your kids
your aggressions out.
I get to go in there and just watch them beat the shit out of each other playing dodgeball. I'm basically Mr. Woodcock, you know. It's like, just beat the shit out of each other, you little fuckers. I don't care.
Quit screwing around.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Dude, trust me. The one of them, I'm like, here, take this dodgeball. This is a special one. This is the headshot ball. that we filled that one up extra.
Oh no! Left it outside, got it all hard.
Maybe put a little water in there, set it in a snowbank overnight. It'll be fine, kids. It'll be fine.
Why is he filming me with his iPhone?
No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Throw that at Billy. Just fucking throw it right at Billy's head.
Well, it's slow motion feature.
And then just hits him.
It'll toughen him up real good.
Billy, you should have drank your juice, you little bitch. You wouldn't be laying on the floor bleeding.
Just a terrified expression on his face too, where he does the oh.
Robert Loggia.
It's me, L. Look, it's Robert Loggia.
I had never even heard that name until Family Guy, so I got to give Billy props because he's more versed in the game than I am. Because I'm like, who the? I had to Google Robert Loggia. Like,
dude, I've known who Robert Loggia was since I saw frickin' Over the Top the first time. It was like Over the Top.
How old were you?
Yep.
When I saw Over the Top, like 7.
Drink the juice, Etep.
I was too. Robert Loggia was banging my mom. That's why I talk like this. I heard him. Take this, Mrs. Wokuian. Take this. I'm like, why is my mom nailing Robert Loggia? He Scarface killed this guy.
Robert Loggia mask.
Yeah. My new avatar.
Here, kid, have a Robert Loggia mask. I'm like, aren't you Robert Loggia?
What's
Yeah,
up,
Fortnite
Snapchat? Where's that Robert Lozier filter?
Yeah.
Right.
No, we should make it a Fortnite skin. People will be like, what the hell is that?
We need
Might as well.
fucking Robert Loggia doing the fucking what is that stupid Fortnite
The
dance?
floss?
The floss, yeah. Fucking Robert Loggia breaking it down. I see Robert Loggia doing the worm and shit.
Or the dab.
I'm Robert Loggia, out, bitches.
So,
Drink your juice, you moths. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Before we jump into the shows, I just wanted to go through a quick article here. But before we even jump into the article, which is 10 best wrestling shoot interviews ranked, and shoots are always fun. It's always fun to get a little bit of realism in the programming. But I see this under the trending, and if you didn't hear, Cesaro left the WWE recently. And after 11 years, and I mean, it brings me back. Like, I remember when they were saying, oh, it's a decade of destruction with The Undertaker. And it's like, wow, a decade. And like, look at all the ground he's covered. And the dude was a legend by then. And it's just kind of sad because I always thought that Cesaro would make a good, in a world where I think they have too many former champions, like the Royal Rumble we've talked about. There was a point where there were more people who had already been to the dance than hadn't been in the Rumble, and it kind of let the air out of the room. But for anyone who, you know, Cesaro deserved a shot at the top. I mean, he's a good performer. He would have been a hell of a old school heel champion. He could have brought credibility to the title, give him a nice long run, have him beat a couple guys clean, have him defend it often. And I mean, he really could have brought some prestige to that title. And it's just sad to see how things turned out for him. You know, 11 long years. Vince, I don't think Vince likes Eastern Europeans. You know, like he can get down with the British a little bit. Yeah.
He likes the British because he can always remind him that we beat him in the Revolution. I can always strut by him and be like, "How's that tea?" You know. But no, seriously though, Cesaro got hosed, man. Like, because I was at the tail end of watching wrestling like full time when he came in, and he was one of the reasons. Like him and a few other guys were like one of the reasons why I would watch Raw. Because I was like, this cat is talented, you know, and plus we have the same barber.
But strong. He's like sheer, like you've seen him lift dead weight before.
I was out by then.
That was my thing. I was gonna say this dude had for his build, because he's not. I mean, he's big, but he's not big. You know, I mean, he's a put together. I mean, he's for an average dude. I mean, compared to an average guy, he's put together like a motherfucker. I mean, he is, but yeah, his strength is like legendary. You know, the dude is a beast. Yeah, that's it. That is a perfect descriptor right there.
Yeah, they got like all those micro muscles.
Yep. Just a plowboy, man. Them are the kind of cats I used to play football against, and it sucked.
It's like a truck.
Yeah, he's almost like a less genetic, like, no matter how hard you work out, you know, there's no denying that Brock Lesnar is blessed to a certain extent to have the look he has and the build he has and the genes. Cesaro's almost like a less, you know, blessed Brock Lesnar. As in, like, you can see Brock out there in the fucking fields working and tilling and moving big tires across the field for some reason. Something to do with farming, you know.
Well, strength and muscle mass are not one and the same, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met guys that were like huge and jacked, and they were absolute wusses. It's like how you know, like they had like no like endurance. Like you could lift like 200 pounds once. It's like okay,
and they're done. They're done.
They're like hurting too. Like they always have ice on a joint and
And you know, and I feel
sorry.
No. I was just gonna I feel like, you know, Brock, he looks great in front of a camera, but I bet Cesaro could take a punch to the face a little
Yeah.
better than, without turning cherry pink. So
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Set that blonde to the towhead curse. Like he's got that skin where you like tap red. Like,
Hey, one company's trash is another company's treasure. 'Cause,
Yep.
AEW are probably going to scoop them up.
oh yeah.
yeah, hopefully.
They would be fools not to, because he's what, like maybe late 30s?
yeah,
probably
he's
around-
not. Yeah, he's in like mid to late 30s.
He's got a good 15 years left in him with the shape he's in. He does. He's
41.
He's
Oh, wow.
my age.
So
He's a spring chicken, baby. He's good.
Oh, I swear.
I mean,
Shit.
Jake Roberts versus Steve Austin, which we're going to talk about tonight at the 96 King of the Ring, and everything we've seen of Jake Roberts lately on Raw and everything. He's 41 and he fucking looks 53. Like
Yep.
that's a rough 41.
Was that him against Goldust?
Yep. Him and Goldust wrestled, and then when was that? That was on Raw. And then at the pay-per-view, he had to wrestle Vader, and Vader during the King of the Ring, and then Vader would get himself disqualified. So Jake Roberts would go on to wrestle Steve Austin in the finals, and just a rough 41 years old. And they kept saying he's 41. This might be his last chance at the King of the Ring. And it's like, holy shit, Jake! Like real rough. Like, I think we're watching like human evolution in front of our very eyes, because 41 now is not the same as it was in the 80s.
I'm
and
sorry, Jake. You're a genetic dead end.
All it is, 41. I'm so pretty.
Yeah, like Jake was a rough 41, especially compared to any of us. Like,
Well,
Right?
well, that and like if you've seen the Goldust match, like you can tell like they were told, like Vince had some type of scheme going on during that match, because they like constantly were showing like his interview. It was like, dude, there's a match going on. I don't want to see like a side view of like they had like a picture in picture with his interview, because like you could
a lot of crack.
Yeah, well, it's because he was so rough in the ring. Like, kudos to Goldust, who was like kind of padding out that like he just constantly like get out of the ring and like pretend to be afraid, and like they were just dragging this thing on.
It was a long match, yeah.
Jake couldn't do like that. Guy was like, "I'll come back, come back." Like, he's like, it's like, dude, you're like on death's door. Like,
Yeah, no shit.
Goldust could have farted and knocked you over.
Yeah, he was in rough shape. Like, you could tell WWF was desperate at that point. Like, WCW had all of the star power.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know, dude. I had once you get Randy Savage and Hogan in that era, yeah.
And
Like,
then they
that's it.
take your current stars, the Razors and the Diesels, and like, holy shit, yeah.
We do not work. Hey, Chico, we do not work for WWF.
I gotta say, and before we jump into like all of it, we saw some interaction between Booker T, who's currently a heel on Nitro, and Scott Steiner, who's not. He's still with his brother. He's not Big Papa Pump yet. It is weird seeing Scott Steiner get cheered over Booker T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing Scott Steiner with that glorious mullet.
Yeah, instead of that male quaff thing he had.
Yep.
But you could see it in him. You could see the big bad booty daddy behind those eyes, just waiting to come out.
Well, he's getting a lot bigger too.
Yeah, he was huge at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's still pulling Frankensteiners off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I loved his Frankensteiner, because it's you expect that from a Psychosis, but this big motherfucker, like, yeah. I guess, that's true. Scott Steiner could count as a Psychosis too, but a different,
Right.
Roid
Different
rage.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That,
how is he okay and Benoit's not? I guess it is that flying headbutt. Like, holy shit.
look up.
I think there was foul play in that.
Like,
It got Benoit and a Dynamite Kid.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like,
That's terrible.
if you heard Scott Steiner ended up killing his wife,
You'd be like, no,
unfortunately, kid. I mean, I'm just saying it's more believable than if I were to travel back to 1998, put Benoit and Steiner in a room and say, guess which one is going to do this?
Yeah, exactly. Like in a lineup, like who's going to snap and do this weird?
Yeah.
Steiner would be like, it's not going to be me, but there's a 33 1/3% chance. And Tony knows he's not managed to beat me, so he brings in Draven, and that brings my chances up to some fraction I can't even add up right now.
And number D.
The way he quit WWF is the most. Nobody's quit better than Scott Steiner. They called him up, told him it was time to go take a drug test, and he told them, all right, you send Triple H over here in a limo and we'll go take one together. Fucking dude was gangster, so
he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't. He knew who the fuck he was. He that's the thing. For everything that Scott Steiner lacked, he was still, I'm sorry, he's 10 times the worker and the man that Triple H ever be.
So is Tommy.
Yes, he is.
Better late than never, right? I am here. I heard that there were some toes on this panel and need to be nibbled, so I'm here to take care of that kind of stuff. You better know where I'm coming from, brother.
I know which hemisphere, but I don't think you know which stratosphere I'm coming from, because I can come from over there in the Crab Nebula, or over there in the cosmos from the Milky Way off of Saturn's rings with the elbow drop from out of this world.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what, brother, that was a nice speech, brother, but I still had Elizabeth last night. Screw you, brother.
Oh, no. Didn't he, lock her in, the dressing room?
Yeah.
That was Ric Flair tried to grape her.
Damn.
Well, do you remember? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we get to
lock
that
her
episode.
in the dressing room, even in the WWF,
Really?
because he was because he knew that's what they say in documentaries and stuff, that it was a lot of that drama on camera kind of translated over to their real lives. He knew how the business was and knew how the guys were, so he would lock her in the dressing room and shit when he'd come out to wrestle.
Jeez.
And this is especially by the time they were getting married on WWF TV, they were on the outs in real life.
Yeah.
So do you, Tony? Do you suppose that when Elizabeth made the claims, what Ric Flair tried to do to her, and they said, "Hey, why did you try to grape her?" and he was like, "Whoo, whoo."
I was talking kayfabe from the angle that was going on, but it happens on Nitro. See, that's the thing. And hey, spent a lot of time around the business, dealt with some ring rats. Long time ago. Long time ago.
Is that a tail in the background? Oh, never mind.
But if you don't want your wife or your girlfriend turning into a rat, keep them away from the fucking business. Keep them away from the boys. Yeah. Don't bring your fucking bring your fucking wife around the fucking locker. Oh, it's so cute. No, the fucking ain't. If your girlfriend coming around the locker room, if she wants that, if she's looking for that, she's a rat.
Remember to keep your pimp hand strong, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that's trust me. I fucking even on the punk ass indie scene for $5, a handshake and a hot dog, it fucking happens. It happens. Yep.
Gotta put the chastity belt on there.
Yeah. I remember Chastity used to come down to the ring with Raven. She was sexy as hell. You know who I'm talking about. Remember Chastity? Little blonde?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She came down with Sandman. She had that fucking lollipop in WCW.
So Etep, how did you know they were professional ring rats? Did you look through their purse and see all those chapsticks that were sitting in there? You're on the circuit. You just see the same ones showing up at the same shows, man. Not that they were the bar after the show. That's ring rats, man. That's our groupies. They'll show up to shows at the bar. They hang out after the show, but you're tearing down. Hey, no.
Well, weren't some of the ones that wound up in ECW, some of the girls, weren't they originally just ring rats too?
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Dude. We need a ring rat t-shirt for your Teespring, Etep.
Yes.
And like just on the back, the catchphrase is "I can fix him."
Yep.
Fuck
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
Tony, that's going to be your design right there, bro. Make it happen.
Fix it.
Yes.
Make it happen.
You just don't understand.
No, because think about okay, so you've got Macho and Elizabeth, and what Etep says rings true. Like if you want a wife, don't bring her around the business. Elizabeth ends up leaving Macho, gets with Lex Luger. You got Steve Mongo McMichael and Deborah McMichael, and then she leaves McMichael for Jeff Jarrett, then leaves Jeff Jarrett for Stone Cold. Like she worked her way up the rankings.
Oh, hey, there's one more. There's the epic one there, Mark Marrow.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mark Marrow and
Jesus.
Sable
She
turns
upstaged
into
him.
Brock and Sable. Kevin Sullivan and Woman turns into Benoit and Woman. Kurt Angle and Karen Angle turn into Jeff Jarrett and Karen. Like, how has there not been like this massive chlamydia outbreak? In wrestling?
They're all itching in the ring.
Bunch of koalas.
Drop pants
Dude.
if it's not gonorrhea.
Dude, look at that though. Look at fucking Jeff Jarrett, Deborah, and Karen Angle. I don't care. People want to know why I love Jeff Jarrett the way I do, and I'm like, because Jeff Jarrett is a fucking stone cold pimp. He's a Chad. That's Chad energy. Not only did he lay out that little ass midget Beetlejuice with a guitar, but he banged Deborah before Stone Cold did. All right, so you have Mongo's sloppy. Mongo has a Super Bowl ring. That's why he got that fine piece of ass. It sure wasn't his award-winning personality or his good looks. And he took Kurt Angle's wife, and Kurt Angle won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, and that we're actually in wrestling time, and where we're reviewing, that's only a couple months away, like August '96, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And
Now-
Kurt Angle almost went to ECW.
To be
But
like,
that's a story for another time.
yeah. And to be fair, Steve Austin did beat her ass better than Jarrett or Steve McMichael did. So.
She probably smacked Jarrett in the face once and he cowered. She tried that shit with Austin. He blocked it and he punched her. He's like, feed. She blocks it. She punches again. He blocks it, hits her, feed. He keeps making her feed into it and he's hitting her.
Stone Cold Stunner.
Yep.
Then he flips her off. Yep, flips her off, gives her the stunner.
She goes to slap him. He's you stupid son of a bitch.
She slaps him and he spins around, flips her off, then hits her with the stunner.
Do any of you remember the movie with Michael J. Fox, Life with Mikey? Life with Mikey.
The Life Serial? Was it the Life Serial one?
Yeah, like he used to play a kid on a sitcom, and now he runs a talent agency with his brother, who I believe is Nathan Lane. And then they find that girl, and she becomes like the sunburst cookie girl, and it's about a former childhood star who now runs a child talent agency, and they basically find their meal ticket. And, point is, I bring that up because they bring them to a wrestling match at one point. All the kids from the talent agency, and in the ring wrestling is a very new to the business Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that technically that's the first place I've seen Jeff Jarrett. I just didn't know it was him at the time. Good movie, not bad. You know, I gotta say, like, yeah, Back to the Future, legendary, but in terms of like Michael J. Fox movies, like I'm not rushing out to go see Doc Hollywood or something.
No,
you know, but
Teen Wolf.
I was just gonna say Doc
Wolf,
Hollywood was okay, but Teen Wolf is the shit.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf is dope, but I'm just saying there
The
aren't
MTV
many.
original series Teen Wolf was good too.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Is the MTV series you're talking about?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I really
coming back.
hated Teen Wolf 2, though. That was horrific.
That was Jason Bateman.
Yeah, it was Jason Bateman.
Is that
He's
the
much
one that
better
had
in
Ben
Ozark.
Affleck in it? No, the first one had Ben Affleck in it. It's the basketball player when he turned.
Was he?
Oh no, wait, that was Buffy the Vamp. It's either Buffy or one of them. They had a basketball
it's like
game.
15 years difference.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it might
I
have
mean,
been Buffy.
yeah, because I was like, what the hell's Ben Affleck doing in this movie? There was like a basketball player that like turned into either a werewolf or a vampire. It's hard to tell. They all look like crappy. Like some guy in a beard. Like yeah, and he's just like, oh, I'm scared.
I feel personally attacked right now.
I feel attacked.
No, it's the bad Hollywood makeup that they do for vampires and werewolves.
It's like it's easy. It's either one of those vampires or those fucking werewolves. One of them. I don't know.
You imagine how much cooler Teen Wolf would have been with Michael J. Fox if they used the special effects from The Howling.
Holy shit! That would have been sweet.
Like face peels back.
The special effects in the MTV show were pretty good.
Were they?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's jump into this so we can get into the wrestling shows too here.
Yes.
So yeah, the 10 best wrestling shoot interviews, ranked shoot interviews, can give you a lot of information about what happens behind the curtains of a wrestling match. And I got to say, that's the most interesting part of wrestling, is the drama behind the scenes. This was published on October 27th, 2019. So, you know, if Roman Reigns did a shoot or something, sorry guys, it ain't here.
I don't care.
Oh darn.
Now, when I see this ad right here, 10 most disrespected wrestlers in the WWE draft, there's nothing worse than when they moved JR to SmackDown without telling him, just so they could catch his reaction on live TV and have Vince McMahon laugh his ass off in the back. And you know that's exactly what. Look at his face.
Look at Ross. I think I just broke his heart. It's great. I'm gonna go cap one off. Come here, Stephanie. Give me your milk bags.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely the milk bags. The rest of that may have been exaggerated.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh man.
Number 10 is Jim Cornette, probably screaming about vaccines or something.
He blocked us both on.
Yeah.
He blocked us both on Twitter in the same day, Tony.
Yes, he did.
What
Jim
a piece of shit.
is well known for not mincing his words, having no problem in saying things exactly as he sees them, as long as he doesn't have to hear other opinions, regardless of who that might offend or upset, which is why he has been a part of so many different shoot interviews. Cornette made all of his thoughts and opinions well known, often taking shots at the likes of Triple H, Eric Bischoff, and WWE in general, and even nowadays, he is constantly critical over people like Joey Ryan. Cornette has been very vocal about his dislike for ECW as well, and whether you agree with him or not, watching a Cornette shoot interview is always entertaining. Well, I gotta say, you know, for as entertaining as Jim Cornette can be as a heel, he's no Paul Heyman. So I know he ran OVW, but he couldn't bring people's talents out like Paul Heyman.
Hey, don't forget about. I was down at Smoky Mountain Wrestling too.
Yeah. Have you heard what Paul Heyman said about, you know, when Brock Lesnar botched the shooting star press at WrestleMania 19 in Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Heyman talks about when he first saw Brock, and a lot of people were giving Brock bad advice. And he's like, I wanted to give this guy good advice. And you see what it did for him. You know, Heyman knows how to sell Brock. So he mentions the shooting star press as a specific example. He was like, I didn't tell him to do that at WrestleMania, you know. He's like, and that's one example of people giving Brock bad advice, because I would have never had him do that, regardless of the spectacle. You know, that's not how you sell Brock Lesnar. So, number 9, X-Pac. Is this going to be specific moments? Because that's what I wanted, was specific moments, not you know, general overviews of people who shoot all the time. So X-Pac. Unlike Jim Cornette, X-Pac shoot interviews tend to be a lot more positive, with the WWE Hall of Famer being a lot more upbeat about his WWE career in general, often discussing funnier stories during his time in the interviews. And it's because he's friends with Hunter. I mean, X-Pac's most famous interview came from when he broke down and revealed the famous plane journey from hell, story that is beloved by wrestling fans, as he revealed all the details from that famous flight. from Mr. Perfect and Lesnar wrestling in the aisle to Flair getting naked. And, I was going to, when we're saying woo a little while ago, I was going to say what kind of helicopter makes that sound. But yeah.
One with bleached blonde hair and saggy. Never mind.
Yeah, see, I don't mean to cut this short, but if this is just going to be general overviews, we're just going to go through them. So 8 is Honky Tonk. I thought we were going to get specific moments.
Sonny.
Oh.
I thought it was shoot interviews, not whores.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, why couldn't you get naked in 1998?
Yeah.
You had to wait until you were. You had to wait till 2018. Poor Dolph Ziggler. He had to have sex with he had sex with Amy Schumer and old Sonny. Old used up Sonny.
Are they the same thing?
Sonny. Yeah. I'd much rather have old used up Sonny than Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
In her prime. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could at least look over at Sonny's glamour shot while you're doing it.
Yeah.
With Amy Schumer, there's nothing there.
No, there's no Amy Schumer glamour shot.
No. Photoshop couldn't help that thing.
John Moxley.
Yeah.
John Moxley. This is an interesting example because his appearance on the Stone Cold podcast on the WWE Network was obviously not intended to be a shoot interview as it was being promoted by WWE. However, a shoot is what it ended up turning into, which was so controversial that it actually resulted in the podcast series being canceled on WWE Network with no more episodes happening. Moxley complained.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't care. Yeah, you just suck. You're just complaining, bro.
He's retarded.
Me stupid. Feed me stupid.
Yeah, he almost fucking injured CM Punk. So Ambrose.
Ambrose?
No, Ryback.
Ryback.
They gave him a title shot against CM Punk at a pay-per-view, and CM Punk, who there are parts of him I really like and parts that I don't. But he's not going to throw someone under the bus unless he fucking has to. And he threw Ryback under the bus. You almost broke my neck, dude. Just being straight up unsafe in the ring. Which sucks because he went to school right up the street from me. He went to Rancho High School. He's from Las Vegas.
Who, Ryback?
Yeah. So I went to El Dorado and they're football rivals, Rancho.
Okay.
Where Ryback went, but I think he's a few years older than me, but maybe not. So, Ambrose complained about lack of opportunity despite his work ethic, which I thought he was going to be the breakout star of the show.
Yep, same.
I was waiting for Ambrose to debut for a while, and they next thing you know, he's running around with a hot dog trolley. What the fuck is this?
He's the same age as me too.
Is he?
Yep.
Tony, we got somebody backstage.
Uh-oh. Here comes trouble. What's up, Vinny?
Yo, where are the white women at?
Oh, sweet. I'm not the only Guinea on the panel anymore. This is nice. Hey, Vin, what's going on?
Hey, brother.
Oh, yeah. So, and I just want to say Ryback and Bret Hart should never be back-to-back on any list anywhere at any time.
Oh, no.
What list is this?
It's supposed it's supposed to be the top 10 best wrestling shoot interviews, except it's just kind of going over the people that give the best shoot interviews. I thought we were going to be looking at specific examples, but it's just going over people who gave those interviews and not the interviews themselves.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about the best blowjob ever. I want to be introduced to the woman that gave it.
Exactly.
Right? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Ring rats, baby.
Yeah. And that takes some creativity, and that's where we segue into Bret Hart. I've heard him shoot on Triple H, and he deduces Triple H down the best I've heard anyone. It's okay, he can go into the ring and he can do the moves, and he knows his way around. He's not awful at that. He's got a good look, but what has Triple H actually accomplished for himself that someone else didn't already do? What move did he come up with? What spot did he come up with?
Bagging the boss's daughter.
Yeah,
think a
but
lot of people
Macho Man did it first. Goddamn, I love you, Tony.
Yeah, like it's like, what have you actually like done?
He did have
Like-
that Destro armor.
Yeah.
So
Remember when he had
stupid.
like the 3rd-degree burns from his WrestleMania entrance? Like the shit got all stuck to his chest. And...
all the oil and grease and
What a retard.
That teaches him for using 10W30 in his hair. See,
That's right. He went up like a piece of Kentucky Fried. It was wonderful.
it was his James Hetfield impersonation.
Oh,
The ace of spades, the ace of oh shit, I'm on fire.
No!
So, next up is Batista, which I think we've all heard him bitch on Twitter. And
yeah,
probably,
he's a cunt.
Yeah.
Batista's a cunt.
he walks around with lifts on anyway.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker's like 5. He's like 5'2".
It should have been
Batista's
Mark
actually a midget.
Jindrak. Should have been
Right?
Mark Jindrak.
Jindrak was fucking way more talented than Batista.
I remember that when they put Evolution together, and like within like a few weeks, Randy Orton and Batista were both injured on the same night and out, and it just went down to Triple H and Flair. But yeah, they almost replaced Batista with Jindrak, because
Yeah,
Randy Orton made it back in a fairly decent amount of time, but Batista got too ambitious, started working out, and tore his pec or whatever it was again, and re-injured himself, and he was out for like close to a year.
Oh,
And I wasn't big on Batista anyway, because I thought that Devon Preacher gimmick was dumb. Like, certain people belong together. Certain teams aren't meant to be broken up.
yeah.
You look at the Steiners, and it's like, wow, Scott really went solo and never looked back. He reinvented himself, and that's fine. The Dudley boys belong together.
Yeah.
And they never should have been broken up. And that actually happened in the same draft where JR got moved to SmackDown. And they didn't know about that. Like, that was the whole thing about that year. The whole gimmick is nobody knows what.
That was the very first draft, wasn't it? I think that was the first
one of the first ones, definitely. Maybe it was the first.
Because
no, the first one was with Vince and Ric Flair, when Ric Flair pretended to buy Stephanie and Shane stock in the WWF so they could go by WCW and ECW, and so it's Flair and Vince, but this was maybe like the second or third. It's one of the,
so it'd be about 2003 to 4.
I was going to say, like, as far as Bubba Ray doing his own thing, I think the closest they came to that was probably in TNA when they had him in Aces and Eights.
Yep,
That's Bully Ray.
Yeah, I think that was the closest to actually making it work.
The thing. Bubba Ray was most of the charisma of the team.
Yep.
But just something about him and Devon together worked, and I think Devon probably suffered more than Bubba Ray did by splitting them apart. But Bubba Ray didn't want that either. He's like, Devon's my brother, we're a tag team. That's how we come together. We're not solo wrestlers. So
2002 was when the Dudleys broke up.
Was it? So maybe that was the...
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
That had to have been the first draft then.
That was the first draft, yep.
They were one of the best tag teams. They really were one of the best tag teams of that era, if not the best.
I remember watching them in ECW, like the real ECW. And yeah, that was like when they the Dudley family, they had Dudleyville. When they honed it down to, Bubba and Devon were doing their thing, it was they're probably the most cohesive tag team I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like there's never, and when they split up and they came back together, it was like they never missed a beat.
Yeah,
yeah,
like they're meant to be a team.
No,
like,
yeah, they
never
needed to split up.
Heel. They never turned Cena heel, and I think they should have, but they never did.
Absolutely.
Just certain people are meant to be certain things, and the Dudleys are meant to be a tag team.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be like trying to break up the Bushwhackers and trying to have
Luke and Bush.
Oh,
or Too Cool.
You remember that Royal Rumble when he came in? He's doing the arms. They just grabbed him, threw him right out, and he gets the arms right out.
He went right back out doing it again.
That was hilarious, man.
Them guys
like
were
malfunction.
Okay.
Now,
NBT
as far as-
overload.
Since we're on that real quick with the teams breaking up, I mean, how many teams have actually seen both players actually really do something after they broke up? I think probably the closest you come is the Hardys.
Or
Both
Edge and
of them
Christian.
actually doing something.
Edge-
No,
yeah,
not
Edge
really,
and
because Christian really they tried to push Christian.
Mhm.
It's just most of the fans really weren't buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's never like he's won several world titles now, but I just don't see him on that level.
Mhm.
I don't.
Christian's an
took
intercontinental champion at best.
Yeah, it took Edge a long time to really find himself. Like long
Yeah.
after he had won the world title for the first time. Like it took Edge a long time to kind of find himself.
Oh
There
yeah,
it is.
Luke and
Nice.
Butch. the
I
two
think they're
kids.
turning
There it is.
Edge heel again
Yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah, isn't he?
because
I
he's
can't believe
fighting AJ
AJ.
Styles.
Yeah.
I can't believe Edge is actually still working.
Yeah.
I would
This
say
is
the
Sci-Fi
one
Channel.
tag. There was one tag team when they broke up. Both of them went on to glory, more so than the Hardys, and that would be the Blade Runners.
Yeah.
Sting and
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior, yeah. Even though Ultimate Warrior is like one of the worst workers in the
Yeah.
history of the business, like works stiff, he couldn't go like he really couldn't go more than like 4 minutes. He's like Goldberg.
No.
Well,
oh,
they
God.
didn't market him on his ability; they market on him
No.
as entertainment
Yep.
value.
That's
I'll tell
it
you-
because he ran around bright colors and shit, and the kids loved him. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll tell you a tag team where they should have both went on to be something great, and just because of external circumstances, it didn't happen. Was the Hollywood Blondes, Steve
Yeah.
Austin and
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
Pillman?
Yep.
Yep.
And that they could have had a wonderful feud in like early 1998 after Steve Austin
Yep.
won the title. And like
Yep.
Brian Pillman would have been the perfect heel to go against Steve Austin.
Yeah, and it looked like Pillman was finally starting to go in the direction of becoming a bigger star before tragedy
Yeah.
struck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He finally found himself in the loose cannon gimmick, and I mean, people loved it. And yeah, bad shit happened. So we've got CM Punk as number 2, which I lost a lot of respect for this guy when he stepped into the octagon. And I mean, before he stepped into the octagon, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Dude, he looks like a high res like CG model of like an old guy, like
Of
from like
what
an
guy?
Unreal tournament, like or Unreal Engine tech demo. Like look at the crow's feet and stuff. Like what the hell happened, man? Like that's not just an age. Like I
That's
don't know.
CGI.
I'll
Yes.
tell you what happened.
He's
he married a
straight
ring
edge.
rat.
Yeah, he married a ring rat.
Hey. AJ Lee is a saint. Her only sin was marrying this
Who
fucker.
hasn't she blown behind a dumpster?
That
They've
gay
been-
frog, the gay frog in Jersey.
Was there motion capture for that in the N64 game?
Right? She's like, "Hey, you fat gross frog, get out of the way. This is my area."
Why is AJ Lee fighting that gay frog behind the dumpster, mommy? It's best not to ask questions. Let's go.
Should we at least leave her a bottle of water, mommy?
You're gonna have a blow.
Looks like she needs bandages for her knees and the back of her throat.
The uvula's like got like a band-aid, like a King Hippo belly band.
Oh,
Now I'm thinking you said who hasn't she blown, and I just can't get my mind off of Eugene. And it probably started with him painting a picture of her with his poop on one of the dressing room walls.
Like on the wall.
I made this. I made this.
Wonderful. So from shoot interviews to this.
To fecal art.
Yeah. So yeah, CM Punk, which he lost a lot of respect. And then Kevin Nash, this guy is a fucking I don't agree with this list. Like, when have you ever shoot interview? Oh, Kevin Nash, he's the best. Yeah, like He's
number one.
He actually he did some good shoots for You Shoot back in the 2006 through 2009. He had some really good stuff back then with them, I thought anyway. I'm a little bit partial, but I mean, he had some good shoot interviews. He gave a lot of good. Him and X-Pac did a few together.
Yeah.
With I can't remember that fucking guy's name that worked for You Shoot. Damn. I used to know all the.
Were these shoot interviews like after their careers or during their careers?
Yeah.
Well, he was at the tail end of like TNA, and then he went back to the Fed in like what 2012.
Like I remember, yeah, he went back to, and that's what it was right after CM Punk's pipe bomb in 2011, yep. And then Triple H had to come in and bury CM Punk, and then they brought in Kevin Nash to bury. In fact, I think what happened, they brought in Nash to bury Punk, and then Nash ended up tearing his quad, so then Triple H stepped in Nash's place. But fucking CM Punk had Nash visibly pissed off on the mic because he was smoking.
Wow.
CM Punk was smoking Kevin Nash on the mic. Yeah, and you could see Kevin Nash kind of losing his cool and getting mad. Like, and this is why, like, right here in the first paragraph, he considered like a lot of the new WWE stars vanilla midgets, the Chris Benoit's and the Eddie Guerreros, and so CM Punk definitely falls in that category. Yeah,
hold on. He called Eddie Guerrero and Benoit vanilla midgets.
Yeah.
I understand the midgets part, but vanilla, those two.
One would be Coco.
Someone say Coke.
Oh, do you remember that when Nash though tore his hamstring there, or that like I didn't know what the hell was going on because he like. I think he was like in the middle of running towards somebody, and then he just kind of went, ah! It's just like, it was like, what the hell just happened?
The funniest quad tear of all time was McMahon though when he was running down to the ring, and he busted one quad.
Royal Rumble.
Yep, gets up in the ring. Yeah, that was Batista and Cena, and then
he slid in the ring and couldn't get up.
And he just sat there yelling at the referee. He was like leaning on the ropes, yelling at the fucking ref.
Get over there.
One of my favorite moments in wrestling was the end of WrestleMania 20 when Eddie Guerrero came out and fucking he had his WWF championship.
Yep.
Chris Benoit just won the world title. And like Eddie was just like, dude, we made it, like from walking out of WCW together to right here in this fucking moment. And I thought that was such a cool moment. But Nash says that moment ended the business. So I don't know how great of a shoot he is. He talks a lot of shit, but that doesn't make it a good shoot.
Do you remember when he said, if this is, he's like, he said some quote like, if this is where the big boys play, and the adjective is play.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, that would be a verb, Kevin. That's a verb.
Hence the adjective. Play.
Yeah, but to be fair,
like
do you know how drunk he probably was at that point? Like I don't care if it was their second or third night in the company. It was still Kevin Nash and Scott Hall together. They were both fucked up. Like,
those are adjectives.
Yeah. Ignore her and drink your juice, Billy.
That's my advice for Kevin Nash. Yeah.
I don't care. I still like Kevin Nash. I don't give a fuck. I like him, and motherfucker's 6'11". He can call anybody a vanilla midget.
Yeah,
because then we make his first movie role.
He was Super Shredder?
Yes.
Yep.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
Speaking of movies, do you guys remember Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
that was the first time I saw The Undertaker. Remember the "You're a dead man, Ramsey"? And he's like, "Gee, no wonder why you guys don't talk." And I was like, "Was that the Undertaker? What the hell?"
Nope, that was Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
Mean Mark. In WCW, he was Mean Mark Callis.
Yep.
I did like Nash as the Russian in Thomas Jane's Punisher.
Yeah, the Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good role for him.
He was funny as shit in The Longest Yard, too. Him and Austin and Goldberg, I think, were in that.
Yeah. A lot of wrestlers were in there.
Yeah.
Great Khali was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Kali's big ass.
Speaking of people injuring wrestlers.
Yeah.
We're talking. Kali's just like a mud fence.
Dude, I heard those female wrestlers went off on him too. That they go, oh, he really is tiny for a guy that big.
Oh,
Wow.
The great Khali, poor the great Khali and his small little Khali.
Not so great.
Kalima, Kalima.
What was it? What was it that he had that screwed his legs up?
A small penis.
The penis is like
No, you would think that would make it easier to walk with those chicken legs. No, what was that caused him?
He had I believe the medical term is bad kneitis. I don't know.
Was it
like Marfan syndrome or something?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. There was something funny about the way he walked. It looked like more than just like knee damage. Because I have problems with my knee, and I never walked like that, even at the worst of it.
Yeah, he was in bad shape when they signed him.
He used to be able to work when he was younger. When he was working overseas,
basketball or something, and then that ended up like fucking his. Maybe he didn't have any cartilage in his knees or something.
Are they buckled inward?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, him and Nash should do like a squats contest to see whose quad can last the
explode like the Mr. Garrison's balls.
Neither one of them would even make it to one. It'd be like, crack.
Kevin Nash would think about entering that and lose and tear a quad. But...
I would have put my money on Paul White to win that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. So, dude, that guy's in surprisingly, even when he was in bad shape, he's always been in surprisingly good shape for someone with giantism.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially compared to Andre. But Andre, I firmly believe Andre would have lived another 20 years, 30 years if he didn't fucking drink himself to death.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that was his
died
major
after his
problem.
dad's funeral.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Well, he suffered through a lot of things socially. He felt awkward and everything too. So that was his way to escape all that.
Yeah.
Well, he did diarrhea on some dude's chest. Can you imagine? Dude, that's a nightmare. Like, you can't get off that thing. That's like 800 pounds sitting right on your chest.
We were talking about that on Monday too. It's so funny. That was Bad News Brown that he did it to.
Yeah, it is
God.
That's why it was Bad News Brown stain.
And him being,
Hey man, who shit on my chest like this a Biggie song?
him being French just makes it worse.
Did he do it on purpose or he just couldn't hold it?
He went to fart on him, and I think he just shat. I don't think it was on purpose, but it'd be pretty funny if it was.
It's like someone threw a big bucket of Ddp more at him.
If he hated you, boy, he really hated you, and he'd let you know.
What?
And think it was all the alcoholic squirts too. Like,
Oh, no.
Dude, let me tell you what, the wine shits are the worst. So
yeah.
Well, Greg the Hammer Valentine was describing it. I thought the guy was crying.
Boss, I'm going to shart on you, boss, during this match. Don't worry about it.
Here's some hard gas.
Is that
I
what
can't
killed
breathe. Why, Bad News Brown? Why did Andre shit on my chest? I can't breathe.
Holy shit! He's
And
like,
that's how fentanyl's made.
Did somebody say fentanyl, baby? No. So no, real quick, because I don't want to derail it. But so Trey does the George Floyd voice now. He heard me do it. So he's sitting in the den playing freaking Mortal Kombat, and I'm doing this is like last weekend, and I'm sitting there.
and in the kitchen with the wife, and we're talking, and I made a joke about it. I was like, yeah, like when I do my George Floyd impression, and from the den, he goes, "It's me, Fit Now, baby." I'm like, oh my God.
That's
Oh my
school
God.
talent show
Grow up so
material.
fast.
Their talent show is coming up. I was like, Trey, just get up there and do a George Floyd impression. Just get up there and be like, "It's me, George Floyd, baby. I can't breathe. Anybody got any fentanyl?" So there. That's my skilled parenting.
That's wonderful.
I know, it's
He's the
beautiful.
first kid to get hauled off in cuffs.
What do you mean I hate? What do you mean I hate crime, baby?
So if he's playing Mortal Kombat, does he go into, instead of finish him, it's fentanyl him?
He's always playing.
Fentanyl me.
Yeah, no, he's always playing as Striker versus Jax.
Wow.
Deep cuts, ladies and gentlemen. Deep cuts. Deep cuts.
And this has been the Monday Night War retrospective.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Oh man,
Hey,
I'm waiting for
hey.
a big giant disinformation to pop up on the screen.
Yeah. Big Mama Susan just comes down. Well, bam!
So
If we didn't get it last night, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh, you didn't?
I
Blessed.
already won my appeal too.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Oh, wow. I went to
Yep.
appeal one, and they were like, nope.
Oh.
Oh.
Kill again.
You motherfuckers.
We went off on that tangent for 46 minutes last night, and I won. I fought the law and I won.
Yeah. We didn't say the C word. That's and we're not talking about, the one that you call the bad bitches. No, the other C word. We didn't say that. That's why you're A-okay.
Yeah.
My first. Oi, cunt!
The way I see it, and this is what the summer of 2020 taught me, all the way to the beginning of 2021. It's okay to go after anyone except for them. So if you start going after them, then it's not suitable. Making fun of the Dr. F's and what, But if you want to go ahead and make fun of just a tool they used, as a means, then that's fine. So George Floyd is open season, I guess.
Yes,
So yeah, let's jump into this. Monday Night Raw. This is the week of June 10th, 1996, from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Raw scored a 2.7 compared to Nitro's 2.6, so Raw will win this week. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the last one Raw wins for a long time.
It should be.
Yeah, they were on the ropes. I mean, no pun intended. They weren't doing well against WCW.
No.
I went over to
No.
WCW around this time.
Yeah, I think this is the start of that 85 week or 83 week stretch or whatever it is, because I'm looking down here in Raw. I mean, we're here in October 96 and they still haven't won one, but Raw's getting 1.8s and Nitro's getting 3.3s. I mean, they're getting decimated, and the NWO's right around the corner.
Yep.
Just weeks away.
Dude, look at you got 3 matches on Raw in an hour show. In 2 hours on WCW, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches.
Yeah.
Good ones, too.
Eight
Matches
good
you're not
matches.
used to seeing. So
Yeah.
So Fayetteville, North Carolina, WWF, Vince and Jerry Lawler on commentary, and the Ultimate Warrior's going to have an interview. He's going to be there tonight. And Lawler has a picture of Ultimate Warrior, a framed picture. Yeah, he's trying to get out of this match at King of the Ring.
Dude, this is the episode where he pissed off Vince so bad just for doing this right here, just for wearing one of these because he was trying to pimp out his comic book.
Oh yeah,
he came out. He came out to receive the painting that Lawler made, and he was wearing a baseball cap with his hair pulled back in a tail, and people were like, the hell is that? And it was his new comic book, the Ultimate Warrior comic book.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I remember
Warrior.
that too. Because
Oh
he was
my
supposed to do a
God.
signing in New York at a
Yeah.
comic shop, and my cousin was waiting for. I remember he said like 6 hours. He never showed. They had to reschedule, and then when he finally did come another time, the guy was a total dickbag to everyone.
I totally forgot about this. This was like big. This is like Warriors like way out. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
he was done.
Yeah, because he wasn't around much longer after
Like
this.
next
Nope.
stop, Halloween Havoc '98, and we
Yep.
all know how
Oh,
that
that-
turned out.
Oh,
Then did he get super political? And he was like
What?
practically wearing white sheets.
Yes. What sucks about Halloween, and not to get out too far off on a side tangent, but what sucks about Halloween Havoc '98 was that Hogan and Warrior 2 went way over, which means, and I was there in person. I didn't realize this happened until I left the arena. The DDP Goldberg match, which to this day is Goldberg's best match he ever had. I mean, Page pulled one hell of a match out of him. Most people didn't see it. And then they showed it the next night on Raw, but the magic was gone. You knew Goldberg was going to win. You already knew the result at that point. So it's like the magic from the match was gone. But when DDP hit that fucking diamond cutter on Goldberg, just right there in person in the moment, it was like you thought that was it. And it should have, in a lot of ways, it should have been it, but it wasn't. And it just most fans, over 99% of fans didn't get to experience that. It just sucks, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And I think that's one reason Page doesn't get as much credit as he should get, because dude was bad at. He was one of WCW's best talents.
Yeah, he's a good guy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Saved people's lives. Like,
Yep.
man,
So,
I'm seeing a
Rob-
pattern here.
yeah, he's working with Sonny now, from what I understand. I saw a picture of him standing next to Sonny, and they had just done yoga. There was the whole class there, and she was actually looking a lot better than she's looked these past few years. A lot happier too.
Oh, that's good.
good for her.
Yeah,
Yeah, good on her, man.
yeah.
I don't know how he was doing it too, because like all these guys are very broken. It was like rehab
Yeah.
and yoga.
He's
mixed
got a
with all that.
gift.
Yeah.
He's got a gift. Like he's
Yeah.
he's like a legit good dude. Like
He does,
there's
dude.
good
I
in this world.
met Jake the Snake around that time when he was, he helped him out the most. They were both supposed to go to a convention, and something happened to DDP where he had to get an emergency tracheotomy.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, I don't know what the full situation was, but Jake was there, and he was letting people know that he's okay.
Wow.
Everyone was questioning what happened. What happened?
Yeah. Like if you thought there was two lost causes in this business, it was Jake the Snake and Scott Hall, and he.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Scott Hall was in bad shape before Jake got.
Oh,
I
God,
mean,
he
before,
looked terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just like it was like he had like he looked almost like the Penguin, like the makeup that
Yep,
like in the new movie.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, like the
Oh, yeah.
jowls.
Oh, dude,
Yep.
yeah, it was bad. Was he in a wheelchair too at a
Yep.
certain point?
And he could barely. He had
Yeah.
like that old man
The
shuffle.
shakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
horrible. Yeah.
But by the way, Etep, I will be seeing it on Friday night.
Oh, awesome! All right, man.
Neat.
So
Yeah.
if I'm home early enough, I don't know when you guys want to do the stream.
I'm about like because it's a 2 hour and 50-minute movie. It starts.
I'd say
Yeah. So 3 hours. I'm figuring probably about 10:30 Eastern, 10:30, 10:45. Go for about an hour.
Oh, all right.
If I'm able to see it by then, I'll jump on too.
Okay.
Because
I just-
my showings is around 7:45 ish. So
I'll wait.
All right. Well, we'll see, man. Like if I'm too late, don't just go for it, and I'll try to
Okay.
jump in when I could.
Yeah. I'll start and then you can jump in if you want to, man.
Cool.
All right, so
Nice.
let's jump into this Raw here. First match is a King of the Ring qualifier with Owen Hart defeating Yokozuna. When Yoko he has Owen defeated, drags him to the corner for a bonsai drop, but he loses his footing and hits his head on the mat. So It was so stupid. Owen cradles Yokozuna up and gets the pin.
How?
Because he defeated himself. He fell and hit his head on the
Gravity defeated him.
Yeah. So then Jim Ross interviews him backstage, and he's like, "Man, I ain't the same Yokozuna I used to be." And he grabbed his shit and like walked off into the sunset. Like,
Yeah, that was the end of him. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And then he died. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Damn.
Guy.
Then we get some house show footage from the Rosemont Horizon the night before. And then we get the Action Zone clip of the Action Zone interview with Jake Roberts, where it's on live WWF TV. And he's like, "Oh, I've smoked a lot of crack.
You know
I've
what,
done
Joe
a lot
Rogan?
of drugs." Like, and this is in between Yoko and Owen Hart and Mark.
Family
Merrill's
entertainment.
skit, you know? So, and that's what we get next. After we hear about Jake Roberts' vices, we go to Wildman Mark Merrow with Sable versus Skip in another King of the Ring qualifier. And Mark Merrow, he's still getting pushed. He's fairly new to the company still, and they're trying to make something out of him. So top rope Hurricane Rana by Merrow, and he gets the win to advance in the tournament. So yeah, him and Owen.
Was his gear, did he have like those stupid tassels over his boots?
Yes.
Yeah. I hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the tassels.
He looked like a roided up Little Richard.
Yes. Yeah, it's like, why is Little Richard so angry?
Woo! Good golly, Miss Molly! Tutti frutti! Yeah, tutti frutti!
Meanwhile, at this time, Sable's future husband is like rushing to 6th period fucking English. Like,
Wow.
Just got his apple juice.
Yep. Think about that. He
graham
hadn't
crackers
even
and apple juice. Yeah.
he probably hadn't even tugged one out to her yet.
He bullied some kid smaller than him and then took his lunch. Come on.
Yeah.
You know at some point he's admitted to her that he probably used to fap to her. You know, he's admitted that. I'll guarantee you.
He was probably getting laid. He probably wasn't fapping much. Like he was. I'm just saying, look how much pussy Slater got on Saved by the Bell, and he was the head of the wrestling team. That's
but like, take a look at Slater, and then take a look at Brock. Brock looked like Baby Huey. Like until
he does.
Beard,
He's like a jacked baby Huey. You're kind of right.
he looked like a toddler. Like he had to get the muscles.
He would just go out to the cornfields and fap to Sable's Playboy.
Which, by the way, was awesome. Back in the night, like late '90s,
I still have it.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, dude, it's the Sable Playboy," and it was like everybody just grabbed for it. It was like, the what?
Yep.
He's like, "Hold on, I need to go to the cornfields."
Yeah, I'll be in my mom.
I got hers and Tori's. Oh yeah,
I have the Tori one.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. When Tori's came out, that was much anticipated. I'm like,
oh yeah,
all right,
yeah,
giggity.
Yeah, I was like, I've been waiting to see you naked for a while.
Yeah, that was dope. I got to meet Tori the same month her Playboy came out. Yeah,
you told me that.
Yeah, because they came out. Her and Kidman came out to promote the tickets going on sale for No Way Out 2001.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and like me and my buddy, we were drinking on the strip, and then we stopped at the Palms because we made it. The Palms is right up the street from this strip. By the time we got there with traffic and everything, we had to pee, so we stopped at the Palms, took a quick pee, and as we're coming out of the bathroom, this tall blonde walks past me, and I'm like, I turned to my buddy to be like, doesn't she look like Tori Wilson? And his fucking jaws on the floor. I'm like, that's not really her. And we look over, and here's like, you know, she had heels on, but like 6 foot tall Tori Wilson and 4 foot tall Kidman standing over, like kind of by some of the closed table games. So we went over there like drunken fools and made asses of ourselves.
No, dude, that's like when I met Bull Buchanan and Shelton Benjamin in a Hooters after SmackDown in 03 or 04. We were in Grand Rapids. We went to SmackDown. We went to Hooters afterwards to eat, and they came in, and they say, I mean, Bull Buchanan's 6'9", Shelty's like 6'2". They're both built fucking dudes. and they came in, sat down at the table, and I was like telling everybody, I was like, hey, look, there's Shelton and Bull from the show, and I was like, it was me and my buddy Billy and John. There was another couple there, and they weren't like as big of wrestling fans as we were. So we were like, we knew more who they were. They were just kind of like another wrestlers to them. And I'm like, well, I don't want to bug them while they're eating. So my dumbass buddy Billy runs over and goes, hey, can I get an autograph? I'm like,
even Bull Buchanan's like, who the fuck wants a Bull Buchanan autograph?
Yeah. I don't even remember who the.
Yeah, like he's one of those people you knew he wasn't gonna make it when they debuted. Like, okay,
yep,
yeah. So,
yep. But I waited till last after everybody, because the manager walks over to my buddy, and he goes, my buddy's like, the manager goes to this little skinny black dude's like, who are them guys? And Billy's like, oh, they're wrestlers. They're WWF wrestlers or WWE. And he's like, oh, shit, we got celebrities in the house. And all of a sudden there was a line of motherfuckers at their table. So after everybody else left and their food was cold, I bought him a fucking round of beers, because they were having a few beers. So I bought him a fucking round, and I went over and I just sat right the fuck down, and I'm like, I'm sorry about that. That was my friend. He's a complete fucking idiot. I'm like, if it ain't too much trouble to get an autograph, they're like, no, man, thanks. Because the waiter told him, I said, thanks for the beer. The waitress, whatever, thanks for the beer. And yeah, they signed a napkin for me, which I have in a folder full of fucking like old wrestling memorabilia, like pictures I took at my first house show and shit. So yeah, it's fucking just kind of funny, because like Shelton Benjamin was one of the most underutilized wrestlers fucking ever, most criminally underbooked. But all right, Tony, I'm sorry, I'll shut the fuck up now.
No, it's all good. So yeah, we get the top rope Hurricane Rana from Mero. He advances. Then we get the infamous Vince McMahon Ultimate Warrior Jerry Lawler promo, where Warrior's pimping his comic out. He's got his baseball cap on, which is just it is weird. It's weird. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something to even compare it to. Like, it was weird. Stone Cold Steve Austin in a tuxedo, weird. Like,
he was a weird fucking guy.
Yeah.
You ever hear his rants?
Yeah. Lawler tries to give him the painting he had made for Warrior. The Warrior calls Lawler the biggest con there ever was, and there's nothing that's going to stop him from kicking his ass at King of the Ring. Then Warrior turns away, and Lawler smashes the portrait over his back. Warrior no-sells it and shakes the ropes, and Lawler hightails it, and Warrior chases after him. Yeah. Shocking turn of events.
You're an artist. You're a con artist.
Yeah. So
very not memorable.
Yeah. Very WCW has everyone worth it.
Yeah.
So, it's Jerry Lawler. Like, whenever
Burger King.
By this point, yeah, he was a commentator. Like, there's no Jerry Lawler matches that have me on the edge of my seat.
No.
Jerry Lawler worked a slow ass Memphis style.
He was good with Andy Kaufman. 30 years
prior. That was the best thing he's ever done. That was his whole career. Is doing a feud with a fucking skinny, ridiculous comedian from Hollywood.
Yeah. I'm wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, that slap was fantastic on the Letterman show.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Rick James slap.
Right. He hit him like he owed him money.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I just found a sidebar article talking about the most embarrassing things Jerry Lawler's ever done. And in 2017, he made a joke about Nia Jax getting hit by a car and taking three surgeons to remove the car.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wrong Naya. But,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's Nyla.
Yeah, that's not.
It's pronounced Brandon.
Yep.
Oh my dude, I laughed my ass off. I went to Target the other day, and they made a figure of that one.
Didn't I send you the picture? I sent it to a couple people. I saw one in Walmart. There was a Nyla Rose. There was a Nyla Rose Brandon figure.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
sent me a picture. Like she's still like you look. Yeah. That's
Dude.
a guy's. Those are guys' teeth.
They were hanging off the pegs, man. They were just like it was a ton of them. Like everything else sold out, and that thing's just sitting there by itself collecting dust.
Yep.
Damn. At least it wasn't a Lucius Carmel action.
Lucius Carmel. Deputy Jones.
What was the one with the really long? It was like
Wheezy living my life like it's Golden Jefferson. George.
What happened to Lionel?
Draven,
Drink a goose, Billy, or you'll turn into that.
Draven, I forgot Bull Buchanan was in Right to Censor.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Ivory.
He was also John Cena's cohort, and he was a rapper too.
Oh god.
Oh no.
He was like B2B or something like that.
Yeah. Fucking bad times.
I was out when Cena came in. I was already gone.
Same here. Like I was in WCW, and then when that went, it was just like I don't know. I'm kind of losing it.
Yeah.
A bit of wrestling died that night, Vince.
Yeah. That's the night wrestling fucking died.
Our main event of the evening is the Undertaker versus Davey Boy Smith. And Undertaker, yeah.
Shot.
Exactly.
No, this was interference, and that
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. Mankind has been destroying Taker for weeks at this point. So Taker gets the advantage over Bulldog about 15 minutes in or so, and Mankind appears from under the ring. Taker goes to get into the ring, and something's grabbing his foot. It's Mankind. Mankind starts kicking his ass. Bulldog sees what's going on. He goes out there and they're fighting back and forth. And then Bulldog sees what's going on. He rolls out of the ring and holds Taker's arms back while Mankind just kicks the shit out of him at that point. Then they put Taker in the ring. Cornette pulls Davey Boy and everybody out of there. And Mankind, gives him a nice Cactus Jack pile driver in the center. Of the ring. Yeah, and then just fucking mandible claw. The refs run out again, and that's how we go off the air.
Was Whippleman the referee on that one?
I know he was in the main event for the second Raw, but I don't know if it was this one. And yeah, this is the last night. Raw defeated Nitro 2.7 to 2.6, and this will be the last time Raw defeats Nitro until April 1998.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
So, over on Nitro, they're coming to you from Wheeling, West Virginia, and our host tonight for the first hour, Tony Schiavone, Larry Zbyszko. Scott Steiner versus Booker T starts this off, and this is what I was talking about. Like Booker T's working as the heel, Steiner's the face, and it's weird seeing Steiner get cheered over Booker T.
Because these two ended. They fought for the strap on the last Nitro ever.
Yep. I remember that. And Steiner beats Booker T here with a belly to belly suplex. Yeah.
And he was getting huge at this point too. This was just before Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, he was a freaking beast, dude. Like,
he
was not only wide, but the dude was like thick. Like he was just huge. Yeah, he tossed Booker too, and like Booker was not a small man. Like you saw when he locked that up and he popped his hips and just it's like, I mean, Booker went for him, but I mean Scotty could have tossed him one way or another.
Didn't he have like a rib problem at the time too?
Which one?
Booker or Scott?
Steiner. Didn't he have? He had like broken ribs or something, and he had like the wrapping around his abdomen.
He did. He had
Was that-
he had the I don't know if it was broken ribs, but he does have that bandage around his. Because like a lot of people, they'll show it off. Like DDP, that's what he was known for, was coming out in bandages. But Scott's kind of trying to hide it underneath
his
singlet,
gear.
His little onesie.
Yeah, his leotard.
It's a singlet. It's a singlet.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt.
So Gene Okerlund interviews Scott Steiner about their match with Fire and Ice, the Great American Bash, because they keep having non-finishes and there must be a winner in this match. But Deborah McMichael interrupts Scott's interview. Very
woman.
green at this point. Very green on the mic. Like she goes, she wanted to plead to stop this match on and Okerlund had to jump in on Sunday, Great American Bash. But she says, yeah, Steve Mongo McMichael gets crazy when he's mad. If they could set up a meeting with Flair and Anderson and just try to talk everyone out of it, this match shouldn't be going on. Yeah, so she's concerned. She doesn't want Steve McMichael or Kevin Green getting injured in the match. And next, speaking of DDP, it's DDP versus Jim Powers. Paige obviously wins this with the Diamond Cutter in just a short little, lower card match.
Jim Powers, the J Square to Jack Jobber. Like what a waste of a physique. Like the guy, first of all, he's like 4 feet tall. I think he won 2 matches in like 20 years. And he's got muscles on muscles. Like remember him and Paul Roma were a tag team for a minute. And they won like a couple matches. They had a feud. They beat the Hart Foundation at one point. And then they got turned into jobbers. Yeah, that's when they were like the Young Stallions or something like that. They had some goofy ass name. Yeah.
Man, rest in peace, Mad Dog.
Yeah. So next we get a video recap because Sullivan and Benoit are going to be wrestling at the pay-per-view. A lot of history here.
Kevin Sullivan books himself into a fucking divorce.
Yep.
What a spaz.
Yeah. So then we get a hype package for Conan, who's the U.S. champ. And then we get, this is always fun to say, Sting versus Ming.
Oh, yeah.
Dun Sting versus Ming. Wait a second.
Versus...
Hang on a second. Here we go. Dun Sting versus Ming. Oh, Guaylo.
Okay.
I'm done. I promise. Until Don Cheadle shows up later.
With Mogwai, great responsibility.
Take an order, please.
Some young guy.
We need to get a pan for
Something home.
put on the hat.
I gotta get the kazoo. We gotta get the Etep's kazooie in so we can start sending these out. People across the country. Oh, sorry. All right.
So, yeah, Sting wins this with the Scorpion Deathlock. Quick submission. In the back, Gene Okerlund holds the mic between Bobby Heenan and Deborah. Heenan insinuates Deborah has been with Flair every night this week, and now she wants to talk to him. Yeah, and Heenan welcomes Deborah into Flair's dressing room and then violently slams the door in Gene's face. We hear screaming, and eventually Deborah storms out of the room, all upset. Apparently she got a look at Space Mountain's helicopter, and she didn't like what she saw. Yeah.
This was one of the most entertaining parts of the show right here. Was the fucking... Not only the look on Heenan's face when he slammed the door. He had to work so hard to slam that door. I was like, oh, Bobby. And then when she screamed and ran out, and Joe Gomez and the Renegade just get obliterated.
Yes.
It was freaking great.
Yes, like Arn stomping Renegade's knee while he's in the figure 4. They just beat the shit out of them, which rightfully so. I don't know how many people were looking forward to Flair and Arn Anderson versus Renegade and Joe Gomez, but
Yeah, I was like,
This
there's
was much
no
more
reason.
entertaining.
There's
Yeah.
no reason that's booked for the main.
Yeah. So
like you're debuting these two fucking jobbers, and they're getting a strap. They're getting a shot at the straps in the main.
Film.
Only to be fallen into relative obscurity within like 3 to 4 months. Like,
yes.
What, you don't have the Joe Gomez action figure?
I don't think I have him created on my game yet, but I have to now. Joe Gomez and the
you
Renegade.
have fucking everyone created. Too.
Well, then while you're at it, make a Robert Loggia, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, he's got to be in Fortnite too. But
Robert Loggia doing the floss.
Yeah. Do the dab.
And the dab.
Dab and Loggia.
Does Robert Loggia come to the ring with Billy's mom?
He's got a big thing of orange juice.
That's my ring rat. Billy, drink your juice.
Billy's
I'm going to have this match, and I'm going to plow your mom.
No, you both.
Spits orange juice like green mist.
That's what his
You
that's
mod
what
the
the
Undertaker?
That's what the
sorry.
contrail is in Fortnite. It's just orange juice pouring behind him.
It's a big old spray.
Yep.
No, you mod out Paul Bearer, and instead of him holding the urn, it's just like a big 1 quart of orange juice. And you have the Undertaker.
Oh, my God.
So,
Oh, yes.
What are we waiting for? Make it happen. Do it live.
next up we get a very exciting match to kind of close out the first hour. Jim Duggan, Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeats Squire Dave Taylor with the fucking taped up fist again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knocks Taylor out. Nothing exciting. We get a package for Malenko and Mysterio at the Great American Bash.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Gene Okerlund interviews Big Bubba, who's with the Dungeon of Doom now.
What?
He says he's gonna sweep that beached whale John Tinta to the trash at the Great American Bash.
Bubba
yeah,
looks retarded at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Big Bubba. It's like there's not his best anything in wrestling was getting hung from a Hell in a Cell, so
Yep.
maybe feeding pepper to Al Snow, but
Garfield on the window.
yeah.
Yes.
So we get Bischoff and Heenan for hour 2, and we start with WCW World Heavyweight Champion The Giant versus Scott Norton in what could have been a better match, but wasn't so great. It went about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Why? Why would you do that to, like, you just brought Norton in at this point, and you're basically fucking burying him.
And that's what it's confusing because, okay, I know Giant's a heel, but Scott Norton I thought was a heel, and I thought Lex Luger was a heel. Like, they keep teasing this tension between him and Sting, but Giant chokeslams, pins Norton, and then he wants to give him another chokeslam until Lex Luger makes the save. Why Luger would... Oh, I guess they're feuding at the pay-per-view, but everything's kind of discombobulated, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Giant tosses Luger out, goes for a chokeslam on him ringside, through a VIP table, just like he did a few weeks ago, but Luger fights him off with a bucket of champagne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. And it's still like little like
Lex Luger makes the best like selling grunts I've ever heard.
Little
like,
bit of bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly. It always sounds like Luger's getting hit by a car. Like every movie he takes. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
you all right?
Sweet summer child. You okay? Like, I understand.
So, like, some of the Dungeon of Doom comes out as like Giant's making his escape, and this is the last cell before the pay-per-view, you know. So now Luger finally one up the Giant, and he goes over to the announce table, gets a mic, and says he found out the Giant does feel pain, and he's going to feel more pain at the Great American Bash. It showed the Nasty Boys on NBC Chicago on some talk show, and they gave Dennis Rodman a Nasty Boys t-shirt, which I always liked Rodman's involvement in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that made it like kind of transcend into the next level. Like when DDP and Malone teamed up against Hogan and Rodman was NWO.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Dude, Rodman was spray painting people. It was much better with Rodman and Hogan versus DDP and Malone than DDP and Jay Leno.
They were calling him Rodzilla. Yeah, Rodzilla.
It jumped the shark when they brought in Jay Leno and Eric Bischoff. Like, that was stupid.
And David Arquette.
It's like the Donald Trump over in WWF or WWE.
Yep. I was at that WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. Yeah. Yep. I've I saw him shave Vinnie Mac's head.
It's a battle of the billionaires.
So Lord Steven Regal versus Billy Kidman.
This one was over quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Regal, in like less than a minute, and Regal
just like
puts him in the stump puller?
Stump puller. It was the stump puller.
Yeah, so he holds him in it, and then Sting finally runs down to make the save, slaps Regal, and just kind of leaves Regal like dumbfounded in the ring. And they're going to be facing at the Great American Bash. So we get the Nasty Boys versus Public Enemy, which is just the Nasty Boys versus Public Enemy. It even ends in a DQ. So it's like, yeah.
Oh, dude, the finish that was funny as hell because you could tell Sags pissed Rocco off when he hit him with the frickin' trash can when he was up on the corner, and then fucking he throws it at Rocco and hits him in the head with it outside the ring. It's like you could see because he threw it back in the ring. That he was pissed.
Yes,
he was like, that son of a bitch wasn't supposed to hit me with it twice. You know, like the DQ. Okay, the DQ spot, yeah, but nobody told you to throw it and hit me in the head. That's exactly what he was thinking.
So we get more Hogan clips, and then a recap of the whole Mongo, Kevin Green, and then their coach Randy Savage. You know, we get a little montage of that, and then we jump into our main event, which Sting and Lex Luger took the place of Renegade and fucking other guy. Can't even remember his
Joe Gomez.
Yeah, Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez.
So, yeah, the tag champions take the place, which is a much better main event.
Joe Gomez.
Joe fucking good. His name just should have been Joe fucking Gomez. Like that would have been good. He actually would have been memorable for something. Yeah. Joe effing Gomez right there. Who is this? Joe effing Gomez.
No way, Jose. You're never going to be out. Gonna be anything other than a heel? I mean, the jobber? No way, Jose. Sorry.
This match kind of goes to a no contest because Giant runs out, attacks Luger. Then Sting and Steiner show up and make the save with those stupid wooden chairs again. WCW and their wooden chairs.
Yeah,
they look
dude.
So dumb. Like you're supposed to have a steel chair in the wrestling ring. I mean, it's so. Yeah, and it doesn't even affect the Giant. And yeah, that's just Giant says he's going to make sure Luger leaves on a stretcher, and it was just kind of played off of the week before, where Luger, Sting, and Scott Steiner kind of teamed up and knocked the Giant out of the ring. And over at the announce table, Heenan goes on a tirade about Savage showing up the Great American Bash. Before he gets too far into it, Heenan starts kind of freaking out, and Bischoff's like, what's wrong? And Scott Hall is behind Bischoff, and he had promised a big surprise this week. Heenan takes the hell off. Bischoff wonders where the surprise is, and then he looks behind him, and there's Kevin Nash wearing Ultimate Warrior's baseball cap. Yeah, and this is the infamous adjective promo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We ain't here to play. And yeah, they're like, Hall said last week he was going to bring someone on, and that's me. And y'all still don't have your three guys because nobody wants to face us. Bischoff says, to leave. He doesn't want any trouble. and Nash says he'll kick Bischoff's teeth down his throat. He asks, where's Hogan? Out doing another episode of Blunder in Paradise? Where's the Nacho Man, huh? Doing some Slim Jim commercials?
I remember all that.
Yeah.
Dude, oh, go ahead, Tony. I was going to say that there's one line that Kevin Nash said, I laughed so fucking hard. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Which?
Okay. When Kevin Nash says, that's what did he say? He says something about, he's basically alluding to, I can't remember what he was alluding to, but he says that's less interesting than Marge Schott reading Mein Kampf or something like that. I was like,
Yeah. Like,
I was like, oh my God, dude. Can you imagine somebody like, I wonder if Kevin Nash is ever going to be canceled for that. His quad already tried to cancel him like a dozen times.
Yeah. So Bischoff basically says to show up at the Great American Bash. He'll be in the offices tomorrow. He'll try to find them opponents. And that's how Nitro goes off the air. So Kevin Nash made his WCW debut just in time to ruin Starrcade 98. Yeah, and then let's go over the Great American Bash real quick. That took place in Baltimore, Maryland. Rocco Rock defeated Jerry Sags, VK Wall Street. VK Wall Street should never be on a pay-per-view, and neither should Jim Powers. But Wall Street defeats Jim Powers. Jim Duggan defeats Disco Inferno. And those were like on like the free pay-per-view. Like the 30, like the hype show before the actual, so we get a number one contenders match for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. The Steiner brothers defeat Fire and Ice. Again, great way to build up your new team that you've been hyping like crazy. A bunch of no contests, a defeat, a bunch of no contests, and then another defeat. So
at a pay-per-view, they went over on him at a pay-per-view.
Why they're not being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, I have no idea. So
right.
We get the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion Conan defeats El Gato to retain the title.
El Gato, quick note, is actually Pat Tanaka, who is a very well-known wrestler. He's been around for a long time.
They're all lying about him. They're like, "Oh, he's so well known in South America," and blah blah blah. The cat El Gato, and it's like, dude, he's Japanese. Like Tanaka is not a very like. Gomez would have been more believable.
Yeah. Hey, actually, the Renegade, he took that loss so hard, he died 3 years later.
Wow.
Now, what would have been funny is if El Gato was German and they were saying he was very known in South America.
We come from the town of the twins.
Yeah, they should have gotten Alex Wright to play El Gato. What the fuck? So, like DDP, his Lord of the Ring that he won at Slamboree was on the line against Marcus Bagwell, but he beat him pretty decisively. The WCW Cruiserweight Championship, Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio go at it, and Dean Malenko defeats Rey Mysterio. I believe this is where he put his feet on the ropes, or he beat Mysterio not particularly clean. Now, finally, justice. Is everybody sitting down?
Yeah.
Yes.
John Tenta defeats Big Bubba.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay, dude, I'm done. I'm done for the night. Thank you. That's exactly what I was waiting for, was the blow off to that epic feud that's still talked about in the pages of PWI. Dave Meltzer still quotes that 5-star match.
Yeah. Shades of Kane and Undertaker's original run,
Vintage Undertaker. Shut up, Maggle.
Remember when Undertaker first came out as Kane? Were we supposed to forget that?
Yeah, I have Kane the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get a Falls Count Anywhere match, and Chris Benoit defeats Kevin Sullivan in life, and then in this match.
That's fine.
Sting defeats Lord Steven Regal, but that I like that they're pushing Regal. I like exposure.
No, dude, he was great.
I'm happy Malenko got a win as well there. I don't care if he cheated or not. That guy was an entertaining wrestler, man.
Yeah,
I always
What a
liked
great
Malenko.
Oh yeah, he was just so tiny. That's why they couldn't do anything with him.
He was good. Like he was like one of those real serious tiny people.
Yes. He was like he's like 5 foot. He's like 5'2". He's out there with his wrist just.
Yeah.
The man of 1,000 holds.
It's like he went out there, he did his job, and he went right back.
Yep. There was no frills with that at all. There was no extra. There was no candy. It was just basic. Just meat and potatoes. That's it.
Hail another monster, by the way. And if I missed anyone, I'm sorry. I'm over on the other page reading the results. So hail everybody in the chat. Great to see everyone. Now we get the big gridiron versus wrestling match.
Well, hey, Tony, yeah, real quick. This is for another monster. I want to see what he'll say. FSS, good buddy. FSS. I don't think I had enough of it last night. I want to see what you could put in the chat tonight.
Oh no!
Yay!
Challenge issued.
Yes, I'm a troublemaker. My bad.
He's a rebel rouser.
So, does anyone remember what happened in this match? Like, specifically, anyone who didn't watch these past two Nitros, is Ric Flair and Arn Anderson with Heenan in their corner versus Kevin Green and Steve Mongo McMichael with Macho Man in their corner.
Yep. That's where he did the famous Ric Flair. What is it? The flop. He's like, he stood straight up and then just like, and I was like, what did I just like? I didn't believe what I just saw. I was like, I hallucinating this? Because there's nobody around him. He's just like, what?
Like
the delayed, the ultra delayed overreaction.
Yeah.
That's what fentanyl does, baby. Fentanyl gonna. You're walking along wrestling match. Next thing, I can't breathe, and you go down.
His propeller stopped spinning, so he just lost.
Wow.
Just tipped your gate out for a minute.
So no, this was like a whole thing to fuck over Kevin Green, which I don't even think anyone cared about. But it made Flair look good. But yeah, this match ends with, after like a month or two of Ric Flair hitting on Deborah McMichael and whatever, Steve McMichael completely cucks himself out and shakes Ric Flair's hand, and he becomes part of the Horsemen. So now because Pillman left.
Because he gave him a briefcase full of money. The higher offer, basically.
The famous Halliburton.
Yep.
Yes. Halliburton.
And he opens the briefcase, and there's a T-shirt for the Four Horsemen, and then he looks at his partner and fucking hits him in the head with the briefcase, if I remember correctly. And then that's how they beat him. Or they beat Al Green.
He's like, "Come on, baby, just fuck
with Al Green,
so I can be a horseman."
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl?
Whoever his football partner.
We all know Harlem Heat.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Little Motown.
Oh my.
So Kevin Green.
That's it.
Yeah, he got
all the same. It's a
Lord Green.
He's like close enough.
Close enough. Exactly, because nobody cared.
Oh man. Yeah, exactly.
He's just say he's like, they're both black. I don't know. One was named Green. One was black. One was green. I don't fucking know.
I don't discriminate.
Yeah.
So next up is the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The Giant defeats Lex Luger.
Damn it. I had my money on Lex.
Yeah.
Was he
fucking Lex Luger?
Your money on Lex or your drugs on?
He like puts
my
him
drugs,
in
baby.
Like he puts him in the turnbuckle in part of that match. It tries to like do the torture act or whatever, and like it just looked weird.
You knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
So, and they had teased that leading up to the pay-per-view. Like, will the Giant know the torture act? Like, no.
Clearly not. I don't care how high Lex got or how much juice he shot up right before you ran out there.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna
He
happen.
moves his arms to like balloon animal sounds.
But like the surprise match, the match I was happy to see on that card and happy to see them give some proper exposure and build up to was Sting and Regal. And sucks Regal was having issues back then, and I'm sure that wasn't just it. I mean, WCW wasn't fantastic at growing stars either, but that was nice to see.
Yeah.
Regal deserved that. So now we go to the next night in wrestling. June 17th, 1996. And WWF begins the losing streak against WCW. They pull a 2.3 compared to Nitro's 3.4. And yeah, Lawler and McMahon are the hosts, and we see clips of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Savio Vega's feud, including the strap match.
Oh, the knees.
Yes, the night begins with the King of the Ring quarterfinal matches, Savio Vega versus Steve Austin. And this is a special match because not only does Steve Austin defeat Savio Vega, but he debuts the Stone Cold Stunner.
Nice.
Knocks that full out, pins him, and advances onto the semifinals, which will happen at the pay-per-view.
Person he did that on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking. He's not even kicking him in the stomach yet. He's just grabbing him and stunning him.
Right.
I'll tell you what. I don't care what anybody says, though. Nobody sold that move more ridiculously than McMahon.
The Rock.
I was gonna say The Rock.
The Rock,
but
dude.
There was that one when McMahon first took it, and he was like seizing on the ground. And
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Like he jumped back and he was seasoned. And that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. That was, definitely a unforgettable moment. Yes. But yeah, The Rock would fucking bounce around and
flop around like a fish.
He'd land on his feet and then do like a flip off the ropes and shit like that after getting hit with it. It was fucking hilarious. Or he'd do like this disgustingly fucking hilarious back bump. Yeah.
He must have been watching Flair.
So we get a
Flair's is always a front bump.
Yeah. See, that's the match. More than Hogan and Rock, I would like to see Flair in his prime versus Rock in his prime, but they're probably too much alike in certain aspects. But and Flair obviously being superior. But
yep,
we get a hype package of Undertaker and Mankind, and Taker says Mankind will pay for his sins. Then we get a whole R.I.P. Dick Murdoch segment, former tag champion. And then we get another quarterfinal match. Mark Merrow with Sable versus Owen Hart with Jim Cornette. Basically, Owen rakes Merrow's face and goes for a back suplex. Merrow flips out, catches Owen with the reverse victory roll, and wins to advance to the semifinals. The pay-per-view this Sunday, he will face Steve Austin in those semifinals. So afterwards, Owen attacks Mark Merrow, nails him with his cast, and they have the trainers come out, look at Merrow like if he's seriously injured. Probably just trying to come up with an excuse as to why he's going to lose to Steve Austin on Sunday, because they've been pushing him pretty hard until this point. So this might be his first WWF loss. No sign of Triple H either. Like, this is supposed to be Triple H's tournament this year, but he's in trouble for the Madison Square Garden incident with Razor and Diesel. So,
working in the doghouse.
Yes, yes. So next we get this. I sent Etep and Draven a little clip of this Davey Boy Smith promo earlier.
Oh no.
Where he's talking about, I'm going to take the title. I'm going to take the title from you, Shawn Michaels, the WWF title. And
me title short.
I want me title short.
I think
Yeah,
his
he
wife
ends
had a
up-
better chance at getting that title shot.
Oh yeah, she was at the outside of the ring during that one.
Yeah, so after Bulldog talks a bunch of shit about taking Shawn Michaels' title, it turns out Shawn's in the building, and they get into a little bit of a brawl, before pulled apart just to hype them up for the pay-per-view. Next we get, actually, I guess we did get a little Hunter Hearst Helmsley tonight. He wrestled against Aldo Montoya. But no, he was supposed to. And then that's why I was like, I don't remember seeing Triple H. But yeah, Lawler prevents the match from happening. He comes in and he pile drives just incredible. And he basically was trying to put on a show for what he's going to do to the Ultimate Warrior this Sunday and tried to look angry, but I just don't take Jerry Lawler seriously. Maybe it's because I didn't catch his Memphis days or whatever. He just looks too fucking goofy to be angry.
We took him serious once, like as serious as a heart attack.
Yeah, that's about the only time is when he was snoring in the mic. Like Cole's vintage coronary.
I want to punch Michael Cole in his frosted tip hair. I swear to God.
Yeah, Michael Cole.
Maggle. JBL. Fucking Maggle. All right, sorry.
God, I hate that guy. He has become like one of the worst announcers I've ever seen. Like he fucks shit up so often, and nobody would ever call him on that shit. He'd be calling the guy the wrong wrestler. Talking about some movies that belong to somebody else.
What about when they turned him heel for like a couple years? That was so bad. Heel Michael Cole, color commentators can be heels, not play-by-play. That just doesn't work. At least Cole isn't talented enough.
They did with Kurt Angle with him.
What was that?
When they did that nonsense of him and Kurt Angle.
I might be having a brain flirt.
They were trying to put Kurt Angle and him in a match, and they were hyping it up. And he was coming out to the ring in a singlet.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
The ring.
That was so stupid. Was there somebody else who was abusing him all the time? They did something else with.
Sable.
She was like his bully backstage.
No, they wouldn't even bring him into the middle of the ring and like berate him. I forgot who it was though.
I know The Rock always laid into Michael Cole.
Maybe it was him. There was someone literally like they had like in the middle of the ring. He was like crying practically.
Yeah, it was like it was a bigger guy too.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
It's probably JBL.
I don't know.
He just bullied the Blue Meanie. Never mind. He fucking busted his face up. Meanie got him back though. They hit him, and him or Richards hit him with a chair.
Damn.
During the the ECW one night stand brawl when they were leading up to that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jake Roberts, he runs out to kind of make the save for Aldo Montoya. Jerry Lawler sees Jake and runs out of the ring and then literally goes right to the commentator booth 3 feet away, but somehow that stopped Roberts from going after him. Then we go over to a video package at Titan Towers where the Brian Pillman contract signing took place.
Oh, yeah.
Pillman was, teary-eyed, not really acting like the loose cannon here, and he's just happy to be part of the greatest wrestling federation in all the world. Then we go to the non-title match that Chris had mentioned earlier, WWF Intercontinental Champion Goldust with Marlena versus 41-year-old Jake Roberts, who looks like he's in his 60s.
Stay off my lawn.
Yeah. And what happens, this is a King of the Ring match as well, a quarterfinal match. Goldust wins. He throws gold dust into Jake's face, and while Jake the Snake is blinded, Goldust decks him with the right hand, pins him for the 1-2-3. Harvey Whippleman is the ref in this. He checks on Jake Roberts, sees the dust all over his face, and he reverses the decision.
Yep.
Yeah, so Jake the Snake is actually going to advance in the tournament now. Goldust comes back in to beat up Roberts more, but Jake blinded, drops a DDT on Goldust, and yeah, that was the main event. And this Sunday's the King of the Ring, so we'll go over that here in a minute after Nitro, which is coming to us live from Richmond, Virginia. So it's hour number 1 again, except I forgot to go over this when we're talking about the Great American Bash. So the Outsiders, it's going to be Tony Schiavone all night. Bischoff is in the hospital because the Outsiders came out during the Great American Bash, had an exchange with Eric Bischoff, which ended in Kevin Nash powerbombing him off the stage.
Yep.
I think we all remember that and seeing clips of it. And
awesome.
Yeah. So they open up they open up the show of shots of last night's pay-per-view with the Bischoff Outsiders exchange. Bischoff might be gone for a couple weeks. We get Rick Steiner versus Stevie Ray to open the match. Steiner defeats Stevie Ray with the Steiner line. Booker T runs in after the match and goes to attack, but Scott Steiner runs in for the save. He leaps on top of Rick Steiner, and Booker T comes off the top rope, hits Scott instead. He kind of, it was cool to see, but Scott Steiner jumped on top of his brother and took the brunt of Booker T's leg drop or whatever it was. So next, we get Etep's favorite match ever, Disco Inferno versus Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez. Joe fucking Gomez, man.
You can do it, Joe!
You got this, Joe.
This is the match
Hall
he
of
won.
Fame match.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're still
Joe
talking
Gomez.
about it. It's 2022,
He went over.
and we're still talking about it.
He went over on Nitro over the Disco Inferno Glenn Gilberti in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Joe Gomez, ladies and gentlemen, open a nice cold Bud Light because you're a hero. American heroes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got that one. That's a dad joke at this point, I think, isn't it?
And
I was thinking it before you even said it.
Nice.
Well, No Way Jose became Seasick Way.
The Renegade was still he's basically Padme. He just died of sadness.
Wow.
He lost his title shot thanks to Arn Anderson and Ric Flair, and now he just
and he
Here's
lost
the Renegade.
Warrior. Did he lose his smile too, Etep?
He did lose his smile like Shawn Michaels. He had to copy that too, just like he did the Ultimate Warrior's whole gimmick. But that's another story.
So,
he did win a TV title at one point, though, just so we're clear.
Yes. So after this just slobber knocker of a match between Disco and Joe, with Joe Gomez going over, we get Ric Flair in the back, and he's looking like a pimp. He's standing there with Gene Okerlund, Woman, Miss Elizabeth, and now Deborah McMichael, and she says she got Mongo to turn on Kevin Green for the money. And wasn't it Randy Savage's money that they used, if I'm not mistaken? I think they mentioned that at some point in the show.
Yeah.
Flair goes on about how crazy Savage is, and he's a complete lunatic. And then we get Arn Anderson and Benoit versus the American Males. Yeah, and Benoit gives Riggs a front suplex on the top rope and rolls him up with a little help. Arn helps with the pinfall. Benoit gets the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, it sounds like Richmond was really behind the Four Horsemen, Richmond, Virginia. So they weren't too hot on the American Males. Next up, we get killer rematch. Big Bubba versus John Tenta. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's as exciting as a Hacksaw Jim Duggan match.
Yep.
Does it even?
Oh,
I used to love Hacksaw as a kid too.
as a kid. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was the flag.
Yeah.
How he went in there with that 2x4. It was like a big retarded. I don't know.
I never
construction
understood-
guy.
It's
I
like
never
Hulk
understood why they call
Hogan
him-
too, though.
Well,
Yeah.
why do they call him Hacksaw and he had a 2x4 when a hacksaw is used against metal pipes?
Right.
Like,
I never understood that either.
Like buzzsaw or something or bone saw would have been better, but like hacksaw, and you got a 2x4. It's like, dude, you're never gonna get a job at like Home Depot.
Was it to show how retarded he was supposed to be?
Oh!
I think so.
When he got busted with the Sheik.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You're doing coke on the side of the highway. Yeah.
That's right, man. And his biggest selling feature was that lazy eye.
yep.
See, maybe it's just a lot easier to do a line on a 2x4. You know, they could both bust their own.
Yep.
Sit in the car, have their own side. You know,
They,
like
they started on either end and they met in the middle, and that's when the Sheik goes, "What are you, some fucking faggot?"
It's like that scene in Bill and Ted's where they
Maybe
hug
he
each other.
sniffed up a splinter, and that's why he's retarded.
That
like
that was my end of the line. Patu.
F you up the ass and make you humble. No, yeah, I never understood that though. Why? I was like, what's with the 2x4? My dad's all like, oh, I can't believe you're watching this crap. I'm like, Dad, this stuff's awesome. It's like, that guy doesn't even know what the hell a hacksaw's for. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, okay.
And that's
Where
when
was
Chris
this
was
one?
beaten by his father for the
Yeah.
first time.
No, that was the first time I beat my dad.
With a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Tony, I take full credit for everything he wound up putting in the chat.
I need to know who FFSS is or whatever this is, because yeah, there's a lot of passion behind these statements from another monster. Yes. So
In the private chat for you.
I was gonna say something to discuss off the air. Yes. Final Fantasy 7. Yes. Makes sense. Okay, so the show. Yeah, Bubba loses to John Tenta again, but Jimmy Hart throws Bubba a sock filled with silver dollars, and he whips John Tenta in the face with it. So that's good times. After the break, Gene Okerlund is in the locker room with Randy Savage. Randy's psychiatrist told him he was OCD. One cool dude. And Randy should probably go seek someone else's counsel, but yeah. Kind of a wasted promo, nothing too much, just vintage Savage. I mean, that's, doesn't really move the needle at all. Hour number 2 now, and Bobby Heenan joins Tony Schiavone because Bischoff again is in the hospital, quote unquote. And Ric Flair with Elizabeth, Woman, and Deborah takes on Randy Savage. Yeah, and let me see if I even wrote the ending down here. Yeah, so Steve Mongo McMichael smashes Randy Savage with the Halliburton briefcase. He puts Flair on top of Savage as Arn throws the ref into the ring for a 1-2-3, and Flair goes over Savage. And yeah, pretty good for a TV match. Good enough that I forgot to write some of it down. So
Oh, no.
I was watching it. In the back, Gene Okerlund is with WCW World Champion, the Giant, Kevin Sullivan, and Jimmy Hart. Giant challenges the Four Horsemen to come after him. Sullivan doesn't care about whether or not the Giant has been picked as one of the 3 men to meet the Outsiders at Bash at the Beach. Yeah, so we get another Glacier promo. He's coming in July.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who thought, like, who came up with that? Like, you can't blame Dusty Rhodes for this bad one.
Yo, no, that was totally Bischoff. He wanted to capitalize off the Mortal Kombat popularity. It was totally Bischoff's idea. Yeah.
I loved it as a kid, though.
I honestly thought it was legit Sub-Zero when they were like Glacier. I'm like, is that like a code name? Like, is like I honestly thought like that somehow they had like a claim or whatever it was at the time that owned them. I'm like, you're gonna get like Scorpion in here too? What's going on?
Kano.
Yeah. Like.
Yes. So, WCW Cruiserweight Champion Dean Malenko is scheduled to defend against Rey Mysterio. Gene Okerlund gives a quick interview to Rey, who's very green on the mic. You know, like, he's great in the ring, but you can tell he hasn't worked on his promos much, which is fine. The dude's like, what, 21, 19, something. He's a kid right here. So, he wrestles Dean Malenko, who defeats him again in a rematch from their pay-per-view. It's exactly what you would expect from Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko. So good match. The main event, we get World Heavyweight Champion The Giant versus Scott Steiner. And through this match, Scott Steiner tries to pick Giant up a few times, just to no avail. Giant would fight him off or just dead weight him, you know. So they kind of teased that up, and then at the end of the match, Steiner suplexes the Giant. It looked pretty good. The crowd popped, and it was just a cool moment for him, you know. Cool moment for a TV match. And it might be the first time anyone's really tossed the Giant around like that. And yeah. Because, like, he even went up against John Tenta or whoever was heavier than him, and he beat him in, like, a minute and a half. The Giant did. So,
damn.
This was a pretty good match. It went around, like, 8 or 9 minutes, which is long for the Giant. Not a bad match at all. But Steiner does get choke slammed, and the Giant does eventually beat him. And then after that, we get a announcement from Gene Okerlund. They hyped this up as one of the biggest announcements in WCW history, and that is they've found the 3 contestants to take on the Outsiders and their opponent at Bash at the Beach. It's going to be Lex Luger, Sting, and Randy Savage, and that's going to take place July 7th, less than a month away. So... yeah, good times. We're right on the cusp of the NWO, and we're actually leading into the King of the Ring 96. Not the best main event. Shawn Michaels versus the British Bulldog. It's just kind of a
vanilla.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Mm-hmm. So on the free-for-all, we get the Body Donnas defeating the New Rockers. And then we go into the pay-per-view with their first King of the Ring semifinal match. And Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats Mark Merrow, busts his mouth open, and has to go get stitched up. Steve Austin does. And you can see it's fucked up. Like, I hadn't seen this pay-per-view. I had seen the clips of him telling Jake Roberts off at the end and Austin 316 being born and everything. But Austin's mouth was fucked up and all stitched up.
He had that big scar came from that.
I guess so. His mouth was bloody by the end of this match with Mark Merrow.
Right.
So then we get the other semifinal match, Jake Roberts versus Vader. And Jake Roberts goes over via DQ because Vader did his finisher too much. What? Like, apparently you're only allowed to Vader bomb somebody once in the match.
You've exceeded your Vaderness.
Holy shit.
They did that a lot back then. They're like, no, Randy Savage, you can't drop 2 elbows or we'll get the police out here. Like,
these 2 chicks are like,
oh my god. Is that where YouTube got their rules and restrictions from?
I think so.
That was awesome, though. when Randy went up for that second one there, and all the chicks were like, "Okay, we're not making enough money." They all just move out of the way. Like, I'm not gonna take one of those for him.
Yeah. So the Smoking Guns defend their tag team championship against the Godwins. Kind of an uneventful match. Then we get the big one, Ultimate Warrior versus Jerry Lawler.
Another classic.
They let Jerry Lawler get some offense, and like, come on, guys, like, he squashed Triple H in like less than 90 seconds at WrestleMania. But so Ultimate Warrior defeats Jerry Lawler overall.
No way.
Now we get what I consider the match of the night. The Undertaker and Mankind.
Michael Cole with the Rock.
Like the Undertaker and Jerry Lawler. He's going at it again. No, because Mankind has been just kicking the shit out of Undertaker every single week.
Yeah.
So we finally get Undertaker versus Mankind, and Mankind defeats the Undertaker in their first ever match. And this is going to lead into SummerSlam and their Boiler Room Brawl. But they're really, like, I'm surprised. Like, they put Mick Foley over the Undertaker.
Yeah.
But
I was kind of angry.
Yeah, they're building this dude up. Like, this is I didn't see this when Mankind was first debuting. I knew about it, but hadn't seen it personally. And some top-notch Mick Foley, like, probably some of the best work of his career.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was generally, like, because, you know, at the time, you know, you're wrestling, you're all in the kayfabe. But I was like, you just broke the Undertaker's mystique, you know? Like, the only time he's ever really been defeated, but, you know, prior to this was, like, you know, put in, like, locked in a casket or something, you know, like, restrained, essentially. Because he'd always get up. He'd always sit up, you know?
But Mankind, like, has his number.
Yep. Yeah, Mankind was whooping his ass, and he's, like, half the size of the guy.
and they did save some face. Like, after Mankind defeats him, he starts going after Paul Bearer, who tried to hit Mankind with the urn.
With the urn!
With the urn.
Damn you, Undertaker!
Oh, yes!
Mankind! This is where he gets his power. He's my son.
well, didn't somebody didn't, I think it was what's his face there, Owen Hart, didn't he use, like, the slammy, just like the urn in that?
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah.
The power of the slammy. He's like, oh yes.
Yeah, because he was on he was commentating all night since he was, like, the previous year's winner or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yes.
So it ends with Taker, like, sitting back up at least, and he kind of goes after Mankind, who's heading into the back. So it's like they show there's still some fight in Taker, you know.
Yep.
He's the dead man. Of course there is.
Yeah, he's gonna keep coming back.
We get Vinny's favorite match, Goldust defending his Intercontinental title against the Hershey Bar. They've had Goldust masturbating and eating chocolate bars for, like, a couple weeks now. Like,
Wonka bar. I got a golden ticket.
With just the title covering him.
Yeah.
Oh, how did he get away with that shit back then?
It's so gross.
Jesus.
Like, when he's groping Jake the Snake, I was like, I don't know who's more grossed up by this.
At least they didn't pull a Triple H, you know, and completely put someone down for their skin color and then defeat them. Like, Ahmed Johnson defeats Goldust here and wins the Intercontinental title. So at least he got, you know, he had to make out with Dusty Rhodes' kid, but at least he got a belt out of it.
Yeah. Bastard.
Now, you know, Jake loved it because he was like, you know, he's getting me a couple ounces of crack after the show, so I don't care what he touches.
And then put that as, like, a picture-in-picture to the side of the match, him talking about that in his interview.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Him hitting the crack pipe, picture-in-picture, preparing for his King of the Ring final, which is actually next against Stone Cold.
Give him free crack pipes.
So Jake Roberts is still all fucked up from not just one but two Vader bombs, and Vader's being built up for SummerSlam. Steve Austin basically kicks the shit out of him. Jake Roberts starts to come back a little bit, teases a DDT, but Austin has his number. Beats his ass, pins him. He's, the whole coronation of becoming king. And, it's the classic promo. Get this piece of trash out of my ring and out of the building. You come out here with your Psalms, your John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says that I just whooped your ass. And big pop from the crowd. This is really the first. He's been on commentary a few times. This is the first real promo I've heard from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yep. And he goes at it. He's like, Jake is the first one. I'm going through all of you, and I'm not going to stop till I become WWF champion. I mean, just fucking sounded great on the mic.
Well, I think it was at that point that he actually took the damn muzzle off and let him just do what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Dude, he had some amazing theatrics. Remember the Zamboni?
Oh, God, yeah. That was at the Joe Louis.
Yeah. Like, Stone Cold, man, he was just getting into his stride. This is when I was like, okay, maybe I might go back to WWF,
Yeah, that's what got me back in as well, because I remember it was right after that happened. It was like that Monday, and everyone's going crazy over it. I'm like, what's this 316? My cousin's like, oh, dude, you got to see it, We got to record.
Yep. I came in when he dropped the steel beam on the DX bus. That's when I came in.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was actually watching boat shows, so I would have the old VCR going, and I'd be recording one show while watching the other one.
Yeah.
And I got slick, and I got a second VCR, so I started recording both shows in case something happened. This way, if I decide to flip back and forth, I had both of them going.
Awesome.
Because I had two ports on the TV at the time, so I was able to record from two different channels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet.
Me and my dad used to watch WCW, so like it was like our bonding thing. And then I switched over, so I got to see the buyout on both angles, because my dad was watching in the other room and I was watching, and I'm like, see, I told you this was gonna happen, because there was rumors of it happening before it went down, and I'm like, see, I told you.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have the benefit of being on the West Coast, which meant just by chance we got a West Coast feed of USA Network. So Raw would come on from 9 to 11, just like it did on the East Coast. But Nitro played live on the West Coast at the same time it did on the East Coast. So it would play from 8 to 11 for the East Coast, but out here it would play 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. And then they would always replay it right afterwards too. So I would watch Nitro in its entirety, and then at 8 p.m. I could either rewatch that first hour or go watch Walker, Texas Ranger or something until
my dad would watch.
Walker says I have AIDS.
Eyes of a Ranger.
My grandmother loved Chuck Norris. She used to watch all those movies.
Dude,
all that. And she never spoke any English, so she was just into all the army shit and the killing of.
Get them!
Yeah. It was hilarious.
I've got Delta Force drinking glasses in the original package. I refuse to remove them. My Chuck Norris glasses.
Nice. Dude,
yeah.
So it's like when the wife's like, all right, get out the fancy glasses and stuff. It's a big event. He's like, you're not touching my Delta Force glasses.
I was like, hey, look, we'll go slightly lower class. Let me get out the Walking Dead cups. Hang on a second.
Oh, God. There you go.
Etep saving those glasses for when he has a celebrity over.
Yep. Yes. You want some?
China.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, "Hey, make him a drink." I'll be like, "Yeah, hang on, let me get you the proper glass for that very drink." Here comes a Chuck Norris fucking Delta Force, taking him out of the cardboard, washing it out. Here, you can be the first one to use this. We're classy. We're classy.
So yes, And that's where the pay-per-view ends, but we do get a post-credit scene. Shawn Michaels defending the title against British Bulldog. Now, this match means so little to me that I forgot to mention how Raw actually closed out the week before. Jim Cornette announced Mr. Perfect as the special enforcer for this match at the very end of Raw. So we get Shawn Michaels defeating the British Bulldog to retain the title. And what happened was with Mr. Perfect as the enforcer, they were playing up, well, was Mr. Perfect going to do the right thing? Is he going to be biased for Jim Cornette? And it seemed obvious that he was.
He's the perfect,
Shawn super kicks Bulldog. He goes to Shawn makes the pinfall, and Earl Hebner and then Mr. Perfect slides in the ring, and they both are counting to do the 1, 2, 3. And it is a little confusing. A little confused, like why would two people make the pinfall at once? But Owen Hart pulls Mr. Perfect out before he can hit the 3 count, but then Earl Hebner does hit the 3 count. So Shawn wins. But I just don't see why, and Earl Hebner was knocked out. I don't know why they wouldn't have had Mr. Perfect try to make the 3 count and then get pulled out. And then while they're arguing, Earl Hebner makes the 3 count. It was simultaneous, Mr. Perfect and Earl Hebner were counting at the same time. It's weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, they should have just I don't know if they just wanted Bulldog to look strong coming out of it, so they didn't want him laying there for a 6 count or whatever. But I never took Bulldog very serious as a world title contender.
No.
Tag team guy.
Nobody did.
Yep.
Wasn't it an ongoing joke?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I want me title shot. Look, you're never going to win the title. Shut up, Davey. Aren't you going to have a heart attack soon? All that 8 balls?
Tried to marry into it, with the hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be part of the dynasty. No, you're not, Davey. Shut up.
Yeah. Wrong one. He should have been going after Stephanie.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, damn it.
I want my title shot at Stephanie. That's not how it works, Davey.
He gives her an Irish whip across.
That was perfect, man. Oh shit!
I pinned her again.
Yeah. Ooh, I choked her out. Jesus, Davey, what the fuck? She didn't tap.
I'm sure Macho Man do it.
Yeah.
I watched OJ.
Yeah. Did he watch Jericho? Oh, no, did he watch Benoit?
Oh shit!
God.
We're gonna play Hangman, kids.
If he actually did do that to his family, I wonder if he did that right before. That's
He's
terrible.
like, hey, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Do you remember the message that he left on the phone to one of the wrestlers? It was, yeah, can you let my dog out of the garage?
Yeah.
That was the message. It was that's disturbing.
You
he cared more about his dog than he did about his family.
Well, that's why there's a lot of theories that it wasn't actually him that did it.
Yeah, it could have been a Dino Bravo incident.
Something else.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
It was totally different. I don't think Benoit was running drugs for the mob.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. No need to go down the rabbit hole. We all know that the media would never lie to us. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Wink,
They're not lying to us
wink.
now.
Maybe, just maybe, it was Pat Patterson.
Oh
Just
shit!
a reader.
It was.
He was in love with Benoit.
I'm getting his ass now. He can't fight back.
Everyone thought Benoit was upset over Eddie's death, but it was actually because Pat Patterson told him he needed to choose.
I wish I could quit you.
I can't quit you.
Yeah. That's so wrong.
On so many levels.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna make a CG reenactment of this.
Oh, I hope not.
The wrestling figures.
I bet you fat spineless simp would have hooked up with Pat Patterson.
Oh, shots fired!
Probably.
I would guess to say that Pat Patterson would have hooked a couple back shots up in the back of his throat there. So yeah, probably.
You know what? I'm worried for you, Etep. I fear that like all the Pat Patterson jokes that you make, that one day the ghost of Pat Patterson is going to come to visit you in your office.
I'm gonna be sitting here. I was like, why is there my hands
You'll
are
be
on the
like
desk?
Demi Lovato.
Why is there a finger in my ass? Why is there a finger in my ass? What the hell?
You get cold chills and a whiff of fucking potpourri goes by. You're like,
no, it's that montage scene in the Ghostbusters movie, but instead of the hot Daryl Hannah chick with Dan Aykroyd,
It's Pat Patterson.
No!
Why do I smell patchouli?
I think with Pat Patterson, it'd probably smell like Old Spice.
Yeah,
he's high karate.
No, what's it? Aqua Velva? No.
Aqua Velva.
No, what's the white trash?
Stetson?
Yeah, or like Axe body spray or something.
Axe body spray.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it would
Brute.
go
Axe body spray just smells like it's a bunch of like, I don't know, like probably what, like Saudi kids or like no, actually it wouldn't be no, it wouldn't be Armenians. It's the fucking Chaldeans. It's the fucking Chaldean. The fucking Chaldeans.
I don't know why everybody shits on Axe body spray so much. But you know what? That is a great deodorizer for your car if it smells a little musty.
They use the bod spray that was like a Kmart brand or whatever.
Yep.
Bod.
Bod.
Yeah.
Those commercials. I want that bod.
Yep.
It's
Kmart.
like what? It's like that's it. Is like if Axe couldn't get any cheaper, here it is right here. It's bod.
Dollar General special.
Yep. Mom, can we have Axe? We have Axe at home. It's bod. God damn it.
Smells like rubbing alcohol.
It's like
it's isopropyl. He's like smoking. He's smoking. He sprays it. And also
Yep.
Like all of WWF's pay-per-views were the products Pat Patterson used to pick up kids. You know, like they're like Judgment Day, brought to you by Xbox, Axe body spray, and Sour Patch Kids.
The paper delivery boy to deliver me some good news.
Is that what?
Let me see that muscly arm. You pigly son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Got some popsicles in the basement.
Pop.
Get down there.
Pickles
I said,
down in my freezer.
Get your fat ass down here. Really trying to piss me off. Call me.
When I was watching Legends House and him and Mean Gene were just constantly drinking, I was like, how long is it going to be before Pat tries to put the moves on the drunk Mean Gene?
You see how it happened to Mean Gene was like, oh, Pat Patterson. He like goes in energy. Why is your finger in my asshole? And Pat's like, hey, Gene, we've known each other for a long time. You know, I just thought it'd be a little, what? Whoa, Patterson. What do you mean a little finger in the ass between friends? What? Let's settle this Sunday at the pay-per-view. And Pat's like, hey, we'll settle it right now, Gene. Come here.
Briscoe's like, can I smell your fingers?
No, Briscoe's like, yes, Mr. McMahon. Fucking, I swear to God, I thought he was Forrest Gump. He could wrestle, but Jesus Christ, don't let the man talk.
No. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, that's the world of the Monday Night War, everybody. That's what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, we need to petition for a Dark Side of the Ring, like not just an episode, but a season dedicated to Pat Patterson.
That's right, the dark side of Pat Patterson.
Yeah, going through the decades.
Pat Patterson banging his way through the decades.
Yes.
All right, so Joe Gomez, not Joe Gomez, the Renegade. He killed himself. He didn't just die. He fucking offed himself.
Oh,
like
you were Renegade?
Dude, no, listen. I found an article about him. The whole fucking thing was like after, because he was supposed to, well, thanks, Vinny. Spoiler alert, Pat Patterson. No, anyway. It was in a locker room after WCW Worldwide. Patterson caught him in the shower. He was actually an exotic dancer before he started wrestling.
Joe Gomez?
Yeah. No, the Renegade. Rick Wilson is his name. Was his name.
Pat Patterson found them over there.
But
yeah, he's like
that.
Hey.
He was a chip.
It probably did, honestly. But no, he was supposed to come in, and they told him they built him up like that he was going to be like the next Ultimate Warrior. He was going to be huge, and then everything just kind of fell apart, and he got depressed and ended up killing himself.
Damn. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, dude.
That's awful.
Yeah, I found. I'll send the article in the private chat about him. I just found it like a short article about him.
Yeah, Vince told him you're going to need to work through Pat Patterson to get where you want to go, and then Pat Patterson turned him down, and he's like, "Fuck, left to live for."
Oh man, this guy was
even
born.
Pat Patterson turned him down.
He was born and died in the same town.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's freaky.
Those are the stories
Shit,
you
man.
don't want.
No.
Sucks, man. But it's like there's that certain attitude too. Like nothing's stopping him from getting up and reinventing himself, and not just like waiting for it to come to him.
Right,
it's kind of like Goldberg has the same attitude, except they put him in main events and they push him. Even though I don't think they should. He's not safe. He's not entertaining. But Goldberg has that attitude of like, well, of course you kind of owe me. You know, like, again, he beat Hugh Morris that first night on Nitro. And he probably thought to himself, well, of course I would beat Hugh Morris. Look at him. Even though Hugh Morris has put all this time in the ring, he understands the psychology. It's just some people wait for things to come to them or expect them to come to them. And I think we all know this is a business where you need to go out and get it. You need to grab that brass ring. It's not going to be lowered to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, that sucks, but I mean, number one, I would think being on the lower mid card on Nitro was better than working in some shitty strip club. And again, nothing stopped him from really learning the business, becoming a student of the game, and fucking reinventing himself.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
that-
Went
I think
to
that's
Crow.
the trick. I think that's the trick, though, Tony. You got to reach for the brass ring, but in WWF, WWE, you had to reach for the brass ring while protecting your ass ring for Pat Patterson.
Oh. Was it a big cock ring that he was going for?
Well, it's Patterson's like, yeah, you want to get booked in those good matches? Yeah. Well, come in the back. We'll discuss it privately.
Yeah.
He walked in.
He's like, bring the loop.
He draped his arm around him. Have you ever heard of Bill Cosby?
Billy, you want a spot on the card, kid? You better drink my juice.
No, Mr. Patterson, I don't.
Nah, man, Goldberg though, that was what he did to Bret. That's
disgusting.
Well, people are like, "Oh, Bret's like whining and bitching," but it's like, dude, the guy almost like he lost everything because of
Yes.
Yeah.
It's. I'm sorry. I don't know how anyone could say that shit. Oh, he was crying.
Yeah.
He's crying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you had a stroke because some fucking retard who didn't know how to wrestle kicked you, could have killed
Broke
you. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's crying. He's crying, dude. You people are on crack.
Yeah.
I've
I don't know,
never been a
everything
Goldberg fan.
Well, neither have I, and
Yeah,
that
I liked him as a
cemented it.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. That kind of cemented it. It's like I knew I didn't fucking like him, and now I have a fucking reason why, other than he was just kind of like their answer to Steve Austin.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Wish.com Steve Austin, just like the
You know what?
Renegade.
I will
was
be
the
honest,
Wish.com Warrior. Oh,
I will be honest. I did root for Goldberg once, and that was just to watch Brock Lesnar lose the title because I can't.
WrestleMania 20.
Yep.
Yeah. I was laughing my ass off for probably a week about that match.
The match with him and Triple H was terrible. Like at Unforgiven. That I saw that live and it was bad. I was just like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
That was worse than the Steiner Triple H match.
Yeah, Goldberg's one of those wrestlers. All of his matches are pretty much awful. It's just
They hyped that match up like so much, and then like it was just bland and just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't sell anything. I mean, you get somebody like Steven Regal in there who could sell. He could sell ice to Eskimos, you know. And then you got this guy, and he can't last. Like all of his matches have to be like at least like maximum 5 minutes. You know, and he didn't have any technique. You know, and then he ruins careers for people like the Excellence of Execution, who was all technique.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
and never injured. He never injured one fucking wrestler in his entire career.
Nope.
Yeah, he was all about innovating too. Like,
yeah.
So who was Goldberg? Like, was it Vinnie Mac doing it? Like, because he didn't have anything. Like, what was it? It was just because he was a big guy.
WCW is the one that built him up. You know.
Yep.
For what though? Like, he had nothing.
He came from football.
That's it.
He was super popular in WCW, so they brought him to WWF because
he
would
was
scan his name when the invasion happened because they wanted Goldberg and they wanted to see him, fuck people up, and then finally did come.
Whoopee Goldberg.
Yeah.
And most of the loyal WWE fans at that time, they had no clue who he was.
Yeah.
No.
Was this guy with a funny name? Like,
or they did, but I don't know. There was a lot of Goldberg sucks back during the Monday Night War.
Yeah.
You could hear the chants even through when they ducked it in the crowd.
Like I remember I stopped watching wrestling temporarily. Like I more or less missed most of that year with Goldberg, but I did jump back in to see Chris Benoit build up, see him win the Royal Rumble, and go on to be in that triple threat match at WrestleMania. So I was pretty up to date by the time him and Brock wrestled each other. And again, the best part of that match to me was Steve Austin being the referee and stunning them both at the end. Just because it was nice to see, Steve Austin fucking get one up on Goldberg because he was better. He's the superior professional wrestler. By far.
Yeah.
And, I had mentioned, Bret Hart was all about like tradition and maintaining certain values for the business while innovating it. Goldberg holds none of those values, and Goldberg is the same wrestler now that he was 20-something years ago.
I run at the guy and tackled him.
Think about his last few matches. And he's going to be a little rusty because he hasn't been in the ring, very often in the past so long. But he never innovated at all. He's always been the same wrestler. And it's like, he complained about his first run in WWF, how they weren't using him right. He needs to be in shorter matches. It's like, no, it's fucking sink or swim, dude. Adapt.
You not every match you work can be a 3 to 5. You can't. You owe the crowd more than that at that level. You do. Those if you're on like, okay, you're gonna do a squash match, that's one thing, but you can't do those every week.
I tell you what, honestly, like Goldberg and then the slew of people after him is one of the reasons I hate that damn move, this damn spear. It got so tired of seeing everybody use the damn thing. So,
I just like when Edge uses it.
Yeah, I was sick of seeing him using it too. I liked it better when he used to do the execution.
Yep. I like Rhino. Rhino's gore.
Yeah, Rhino.
I did like when Goldberg speared Bret Hart and they fucking laid there for a minute and then Bret Hart got up and everyone's like, what the fuck? And he fucking pulls up his jersey and there's a steel plate. Yeah, that was good shit.
I don't know. My favorite move though was always the Frankensteiner. Like that just looks so damn hard to pull off, and when you see it actually succeed, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when they do it off the top rope.
Yeah.
You know what had to be a bitch to pull off? The Undertaker with the last ride.
Oh yeah, balancing on the top rope with the guy.
Oh yeah.
No, the last ride is when he did that extended power bomb. He would lift up by their pants or their shorts or whatever. So that had to be difficult to pull that off because it's not like you're actually grabbing on the full body part where it's easier.
Yeah.
Well, he's just grabbing on the freaking fabric of their outfit.
Yeah,
that's true. What that one fucking crazy guy? What the hell was his name? Neville. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Yeah, he's
that
not
weird, that
AEW.
crazy flip.
Big ears.
With the ears, yeah, the guy with the ears.
Huge fucking ears.
Dumbo.
That's how he got. That's how he
mouse. That mouse from According to Nim.
Yeah.
The rats in them. Nice.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Brisby.
Yeah, his finisher was that always looked awesome. The way he did that fucking crazy like tornado jump off the top ropes.
Yeah.
Did he do did he do a shooting star or was it a 450?
I think 450. Yeah, he went around
Was it
a
a
bunch.
450?
Yeah, he spun around.
I like Kenny Omega's finisher.
One-winged angel.
Yeah.
Hey, was it? Don't say Kenny Omega around Jim Cornette. Freaking, it doesn't. He I think he hates Omega.
Yeah, don't say I'm vaccinated around Jim Cornette.
Dude, he's for as much shit as he talks, he's such a bitch. Like, I'll block you on Twitter, you fuck. Talk about you on my podcast with my fat fucking co-host Kenny.
What was the guy from TNA? He used to do the Canadian Destroyer.
Petey Williams.
Yeah.
Dude, no shit. I don't think I've ever told you guys this. I worked a fucking show with him for TV down outside of Detroit for Pure Pro Wrestling back in 2010. And I was just doing backstage interviews at that point. So, but I was working out. I was skinny. I was like 205, but I had like an 8-pack. I was that kind of cut up. And fucking and Petey Williams was ripped. But this motherfucker was like 5'5". Like, I mean, he's so I'm interviewing him and I'm like, shit, because I'm like a foot taller than this motherfucker almost. Like, I'm 6'3", he's 5'5". I'm like, holding him, I'm like going down here with the mic. I'm like, do you want me to like sit down or something? He looks at me, he goes, man, fuck you. I'm like, he goes, why are you so fucking, he goes, why is the fucking ring announcer ripped? I'm like, I might wrestle someday, but not now because I like drinking and ring announcing. He just let me, goes, fair enough. He was cool. He was really cool. Like, he hung out in the back with us, like just like one of the regular boys. He didn't like sit off in a separate area or nothing. No, Petey was cool as fuck. He was cool. Nice. Like, him and Abyss were like two of the coolest guys I ever met. Like, everybody got to smoke with the Godfather at Horror Hound. I got to smoke with Abyss when I was still wrestling. So I didn't get to smoke with the Godfather, but I smoked with Abyss, which was cool. And that piece of shit Sabu, that fuck.
Godfather owns Cheetahs out here, which is the strip club they used in Showgirls that she worked at.
Oh, nice.
Elizabeth Berkley's lipstick nipples.
That is, I'm gonna. Well, when I come out there, I've got at least one destination I need.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And looking at it on Google Maps now.
Honey, me and Tony honey, hang out with Reese. Me and Tony are going somewhere. Where? Just don't worry about it. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Just come with us. Come with us. It's fine.
Well, living out in that area, does it make you like, do you get used to it, just seeing the fake ones flying everywhere, or, you know what I mean? Like, do you get desensitized? Because, like, for me, like, it's like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's kind of how I was when I was there.
Well, we got to take Chris there.
Yeah. Yes. It's kind of hard to get desensitized to that. Like, I haven't gotten bored yet.
Yeah.
I heard it's good for the health.
But he is willing to try.
Yeah. Yeah. Experiment.
Yes. I will work at it. And with that, everyone, let's take it on home. We've almost been going 3 hours, and the time goes by so quick. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. I can't wait to see what comes after King of the Ring. We're just inching closer and closer towards that big July, 7th date?
Yep, July 7th.
Yeah, Bash at the Beach. It's just right around the corner. So, yeah, I'm fucking excited. I can't wait to see history unfold. And then talk about it with my very good friends. So let's take it around. Draven, what have you got going on, man?
I'm playing Elden Ring right now over on my Twitch. I'll be doing that probably tomorrow around 10 p.m. Eastern. Watch me over there get my butt, lubed up or not lubed up and taking it.
Did somebody call Pat Patterson?
Yes, basically. I'm getting Pat Patterson in Elden Ring like over and over. and I'm forced to like it. Yeah, the game is really hard. But when you beat like a boss, a really big boss, like it just feels gratifying because you accomplished something.
Should I get that game? I'm half decided on it.
If you're a masochist, yes.
If you like Dark Souls games.
If you like Dark Souls games.
I haven't played Dark Souls, but I've heard about them. Like I heard like you can't just go and spam in the button and stuff. Like you've got to have strategy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the other night I beat my head against the wall, like trying to fight a boss for like 3 or 4 hours and didn't beat it, and then realized that there was a thing that I needed to actually beat it, and ended up going and getting that, and then like pretty much one-shotted it. So there's each boss has like its own strategy and like different ways that you got to take them down, and by losing you learn their patterns, and then you overcome that adversity, I guess you could say.
There's been a lot of keywords in this, Angelous, and I'm very worried about you. You know, you're talking about big heads and beating it against the wall.
Oh no!
I don't know what's going on, but I think Pat Patterson may have possessed you.
But that's what I got going on over there. So be sure to check that out. Especially if you like seeing me rage.
Can I ask? So, like you said, you had to go get an item to defeat the one boss.
Yeah. So there's a bell that lets you summon like spirits to like help you, and it's like a distraction for the boss. Oh, yeah. So there's nothing in the game that tells you that this is what you need to do to get it. Literally, you have to go to this graveyard at night after you get your horse, and then this lady that is like a witch with 4 arms like talks to you and stuff, and then she gives you this bell. And that's what you use to summon these spirits. And certain bosses, certain bosses will drop those, or they'll drop weapons. So like you can summon wolves. There's like a jellyfish that shoots like poison.
Sorcerer is useless.
Yeah, the sorcerer is pretty useless. There's these 2 like guards. One has like a shield and one has a crossbow. And then you have like a bunch of like peasants that like have a torch and like some swords, and they just like attack things like crazy. But yeah, and then there's probably other ones that I haven't gotten yet.
That's awesome. Yeah. That sounds fun. Maybe.
And if you die, everything respawns except the bosses, so you got to go through it again.
How's the open world itself?
It's good, but like I said, there's no direction on what you're actually supposed to do.
I like that though.
Very little like things like you'll talk. There's no quest tracking either, so there's like people in the world that you'll like talk to, and they'll be like, "Hey, if you go here and do this," but there's no quest log, so you got to remember this stuff. But you can put markers and stuff on the map. So like if you go to an area where there's a boss and say you can't beat it, you can put that marker on there and be like, "Hey, this is a boss."
Like that.
And then come back to it later when you think you're ready for it.
Yeah, I kind of don't like being led around on adventure games. You know,
there's like a slight like thing that tells you where to go. Like at they're called points of grace, which is basically your campfire, like in the other Dark Souls games. It lets you level up, and it's like a checkpoint kind of. And there'll be like a beam that shines in the general direction of where you're supposed to go, and then you just kind of go and explore.
Interesting. Well, did you have something to add, Chris?
Oh no, sorry, I was.
But that's me.
Oh, I thought you were. Well, sounds good, man. Did you have anything else you wanted to plug, bro?
Nope.
Sweet. Then let's move it over to Chris. What have you got going on, sir?
Oh, well, you can find me at Infinitail Comic on Twitter, the InfinitailChronicles.com website, and I'm looking for artists. So that's pretty much what I got going on.
See, I can be an artist. I just I use a lot of stick figures, so artistic nudes, but you know. Yeah.
Well, what did you think about some autistic work?
Autistic work? Got some spurg going on. It's 4:00. Gotta watch Wapner.
Yeah.
Gotta see Wapner.
Gotta see the moose.
Well, awesome. And make sure, are you still giving away free stuff on Twitter?
Yeah, every 100 followers on Twitter, I hold a giveaway. We recently hit the 700 follower mark. So when we hit the 800 follower mark, we'll most likely be giving more stuff away. The recent giveaways, hold on, if I can quickly get this, is, come on, where are you? Oh, here we are. Is this lovely hollow foil card that was made by Nerium, and I colored it. And once we run out of those, there's not going to be any more printed. So yeah, this is it. This is the number 11. So if you're a completionist and you're collecting all the cards, it's the only way you're going to get this one is through the follower contests on Twitter or through eBay if somebody wins one and they want to make some money. So
yeah, that's fucking beautiful. If you guys aren't following Chris on Twitter, go over there. I dropped the link in the chat. And yeah, man, thank you. And all of your work looks great, man. Like it's
thanks.
Inspiring, bro.
Sweet.
Yes. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This was awesome.
Hell yeah. Mr. Etep.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark. Hey, it's me, Etep. You can find me over Etep Wokuian is the place to be reviews, or right here at the place to be RE1 on Twitter, where I usually talk shit to celebrities and yeah, and post witty photo comment comebacks at morons who deserve it. And I make videos too. And tomorrow night is I have to take my hat off. Tomorrow night, I saw an article about season 4 of Batwoman, and there's no renewal as of right now. So look, Batwoman, I know things have been rough. I know I've mistreated you, but if you come back to me for one more season, I promise I'll treat you right. I promise. But seriously, so tomorrow is the season finale of Batwoman, and what all likelihood will be the series finale. It'll be my 84th Batwoman video, something like that. So I'm reviewing Bel Air now because, again, I hate myself and I'm a glutton for punishment. But there's another couple shows I'm going to start watching that actually sound good. And the Orville comes back soon, so I'm excited about that, even though Seth MacFarlane's a douchebag piece of shit.
Damn.
Preach it.
I respect the man's work. I really do, because I've been a fan for, since I was 19 years old, and I'm when Family Guy came out, and yeah, but he can basically fuck off because he's a POS. But yeah, so you can find me over at my channel Monday nights 8:35 Eastern, where me, Tony, Vinny, and Red, and probably more often than not now Chris Fisk will be joining us for Monday Night Going In Raw. Wednesday nights 9 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday Night Live, the place to be reviews. Tomorrow, Tony and I will be joined by the core nucleus of the Fandom Collective. We'll be stopping by. Fan Scene, Rookie Critic, Fallon will come by. Hopefully we get a flipped out appearance tomorrow. It's been way too long. A new comic Normie, and so we'll have that going on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And the Batwoman review is going to be done on Friday because I will be out of town this weekend until Monday. So I'm going to try to get a video done to release while I'm gone. And then we'll have, there won't be a single release video because I'll be in Detroit for just Monday afternoon. And then I'll be home. Ain't nobody get, I'll stay strapped. They're going to get clapped. But no. And I don't mean the jail kind of clap. Wait, is it jail or hookers? I don't know. At this point, I've eaten like 4 edibles. I'm stoned. I'm rambling. I feel like Culture Casino. I love you guys. Except I don't have that lustrous mane. This panel's awesome. This chat rocks. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
When you talk about like Batwoman probably not getting renewed for a 4th season, it reminds me of like when people speculated if The Simpsons would be renewed for an 8th season. This shit's going on 30 seasons.
I know.
Right.
Oh, and I'll be getting back in the wrestling ring April 9th down in Ohio, around Cincinnati. So
Record that.
Make sure you get a lot of Metamucil before that match.
I'm gonna break my hip.
So
I'm gonna break my hip.
We love you, Final Death Star.
I miss him. Where's my evil twin?
I don't know,
at?
man.
Jay just disappeared. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tony. This has been a blast, man.
Yeah, man. Get some footage of your in-ring action. Make a video out
I
of
will.
it.
Oh, I will. It'll be going on YouTube.
Is this where you're going to be starting in the crowd? Nice.
What's going on, Tommy?
Hey, what's going on, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective? You know what I do. I talk about the old toys, retro toys being done right in old movies. And, of course, coming up at 7:45, right after the Probe by Red Gaze, Vinny and I will be doing Collectible Past, hosted by United Kingdom. Hosted by... how would you put that? Doesn't matter. But
hosted by the mob.
That's right. Damn right. Because there are guineas on board, and we're going to take care of this. We're going to break knees. We're going to do whatever we have to do to make sure we get our goddamn money. But we're going to have some good stuff. I know Vinny, I guess, is going to probably be bringing in the Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I got a couple of reviews actually that are. After this is done, I got to put up the Batman one. I have the 1989 1/4 scale Batman. I'll be posting as well. But yeah, we got a couple of things we could show.
Awesome. I know I'll be doing the classics versions from McFarlane. I've got Batman, got Joker, and the Riddler that I'll be showing off on Thursday. It should be a lot of fun. I've already got a nitpick about the Batman before I even have done the review, and I'm already irritated. But it's a minor nitpick, but it's something I'm probably going to wind up bashing on it for anyway, just because I'm me.
It sounds like a QC issue.
Yeah, it is. I think it's more of a stupidity issue, but I'll get into that. You'll see that when I talk about it on the review.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to jump in because I know what a lot of their problems are with those figures.
Yeah, I would say it's probably cockeyedness, but anyway, guys, thanks so much for everybody who's been in the chat. You all are awesome. There was a lot of good people that stopped by tonight, and fuck Final Fantasy. I don't need it. We don't want it. We don't want to see it. It's all over the place. It's making a mess out of things. Nobody needs that shit. But thanks, guys. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence will wind up getting your goddamn toes nibbled off. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro.
I love when Tommy just slaps the shit out of fat bitches.
Oh my god! Got my hand, dude.
Check my nails.
Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell.
Wait, good as hell? You feel like hell and you say that's good?
It's part of the aerobics. I thought you knew that. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. The chat is fantastic. I gotta say, super fan Adam, dude, you rock. Again, we have the best people here. But yeah, you guys can catch me over at VinnieArt Fridays and Sundays when I do my streams. We have a great time. We get really crazy over there as well. Although I held back on the pandemic shit and the political shit because YouTube is they're a bunch of fat bitches too. Tommy, slap them as well. But yeah, we're gonna keep it fun, and you're gonna have a lot more toy reviews and stuff like that too. I want to start doing master classes as well, but this book's got to get finished first. The good news is I finished another page last night. While we're sitting here, I started painting up another one. I'm already done with one panel on it. But yeah, I'm down to a handful of pages to paint. So I'm on track for getting this done in April, and I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to read this book. Shout out to Kraken. One of the ones I'm super proud of. I've been working very hard on this thing, and you guys know my quality. So I'm giving you guys the best. It's really going to be just loaded with details, an amazing story, twists and turns all over. You love pirates, get your ass over there. We're very close to hitting 19K now. So yeah, I picked up a couple more sales recently, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We got acrylic standees. I'm going to be putting the order in maybe another week or two. So yeah, get them before they're gone. Because yeah, once I put that order in, like I'm not gonna jump it up anymore. So I only did it the first night since you guys like almost sold out of it. Like that, it was awesome. But anyway, thank you everyone. And if you want some great books that ship immediately, we got a hardcover, Through the Woods, beautiful ghost story, 100 pages. It's like in a European format, so it's a larger book as well. You get your money's worth for sure on that. We have City of Venus with the 2 art books. If you're into hot chicks in like a kind of post-apocalyptic future world, that is going to have a lot of craziness. It's a very bleak kind of looking world and story, but there's going to be a lot of like superhero elements in there, as well as science and monsters and shit like that. So, yeah, the first book is done. You guys could order it and get it in your hands right away. The sequel's coming as soon as I'm finished with Shadow of the Kraken, and that's fulfilled and in your hands. I'm going to be diving back into City of Venus 2, and it's going to be a much bigger book. It'll be about 50 pages as well. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, and some more cool stuff after that, which I can't talk about right now. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Tony, you're the best. Everyone on panel here, my friends, you guys just, yeah, you're awesome.
And don't forget, if you go to pick up the Cine Avitas books, make sure that you go ahead and get that edition for his art books with them as well. Don't forget that.
They're well worth it.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Tom.
And by the way, Vinny, when you start up those master classes, make sure you let me know, because I'll run the compendium stream for you called the Bastard Classes.
Goddamn. Is it going to teach us how to be a bastard?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, excellent.
Sign me up.
We'll have to do back-to-back streams.
Yes, guys, and join us here next week for the Monday Night War retrospective. Good things are happening. I'm trying to do the math. We've got like 2-3 weeks till Bash at the Beach. I wish we were covering it next week, but we're definitely on the road. I'm excited to see, because from what I've heard, I didn't see this part in particular while it was going on. I don't think we had cable, but from what I heard, they go to Raw the next day. There are Austin 316 signs everywhere. And, you know, I know it's not going to be quite what it was. It's so weird going back and watching like 1998, 99. It looks so rowdy in the crowd, and there's so many signs. And compared to what we have today, it's just, you know, the fans kind of sitting on their hands, you know, so.
TV screens.
I couldn't watch in the pandemic era at all. Like I tried just to be like, yeah, you know, I wonder what it looks like, and that was just weird.
Yeah.
Well, nobody in the fucking crowd.
Just TV screens. Yeah.
Yeah. That
bunch
shit
of people's
was
like faces, just like
that shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They should have took a break and just not have done anything.
And bring
hired
everything
writers
back, reset. Yeah. At least for a couple weeks there. So I still haven't seen a 2-night WrestleMania. Like I heard like the Undertaker AJ Styles match in 2020 was like heavily produced. Undertaker cut himself and had to go to the hospital, and they came back and finished filming the route. Like I haven't seen any of that shit. I need to go back.
That's terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Multi-camera angles. And, yeah.
We got a good meme out of it. That meme of Taker like standing behind AJ Styles who's smiling and
turns around.
Yeah. So
that's another. I could make a George Floyd meme out of that one.
Was that his last match? Is that when he retired?
No. No. I think he worked like a couple like Saudi Arabia shows and something, and then had one final.
I just realized my seat has been making squeak noises all night every time I lean back. It sounds like I've been like ripping left cheek sneaks. So like,
dude, my chair does it too.
Yeah,
I was just farting.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, the easiest way to fix that problem, because my brand new chair had the same problem. Just make sure, number one, make sure all the bolts are tightened up, and just hit that bitch with a little WD-40.
WD-40.
Yeah.
What we should do sometime is all get together and like watch party the Undertaker Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 match, then the rematch the next year, like Shawn Michaels retirement. That would be fun, because that 25 match, that first match they had, is like almost the perfect wrestling match.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
Just that was just such a wonderful because both men were aging. They were definitely, you know, out of their prime at that point. And I mean, like, I don't know if I knew Undertaker could wrestle like that until that match. It was
wow.
It was good stuff. So yeah, everybody, join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. And fuck